Hi, Astra.
Hey, Patrick. I called you over because take a look at this. This is Misty. Look at all her outfits.
Yeah.
She's crying, a mess. I don't even know if she's gonna make it to stage today. I'm gonna show Carla. Carla? How about Misty? Her wardrobe pictures. She's been crying.
Has she gone through makeup?
As of yesterday, she wasn't really comfortable with anyone doing hair or makeup.
Whenever she feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
How's the guest doing? Is she in her outfit yet?
She's out of it right now, but she'll go back into it.
Why?
Very fragile. Kind of had to dress her completely myself.
Really? Do you think she's going to make it onto stage?
I don't know without crying.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you. What's going on?
Misty's throwing up. She's not the same person as she was when she walked in the door this morning.
We're going to stage in just over half an hour. Get her some water. I want to get her calm before she goes out there. I'm just hoping we can get her to stage and that we can start turning this around for her because it's obvious she is in desperate need of help.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I couldn't stop. It was like a heroin addiction.
What did Misty do to cause her to email me 5 times for help?
I know what I did was wrong.
Her reunion with her long-lost son took a dark and criminal turn.
I'm a disgusting person.
This didn't feel incestuous. I'm giving you a ticket out of this hell, and you need to figure out how to make it work. Okay, I'm going to warn you, today's topic, well, it's a tough one. It's a story about a mother who committed an unthinkable act that tore her family apart, caused a media storm, and landed her in prison for nearly 5 years. Now, that mother, Misty, is here today for her first ever television interview. Not easy for her, and she's doing it in hopes that I can help her make sense of it all. But before we learn what she did, I need to go back to the beginning because this is a story of a woman who is both perpetrator and victim. Take a look.
My childhood was frightening. Humiliation, starvation, beatings. For a long time, I was like living homeless, just like out in the middle of the woods with my mom. My mom was abusive. She was an alcoholic. She was very, like, humiliate you and like try to kill you type of abuse. She would wrap me in garbage bags and put me in the trunk of the car and drive around all day. She would like throw me in the river and tell me like I needed to learn how to swim or drown. She used to have her boyfriends shake beers up and crack them in my face so I would be drenched in beer. I would just remember her laughing about it all the time.
Did you go to school or?
The last grade that I completed was the 4th grade. I just remember like a lot of times that I would just like sort of blur my vision out and I would just sort of like mentally go somewhere else. I ended up on the streets and older men would like tell me I could stay with them. I was 10 years old, they were like 30. They would get me drunk, have sex with me, let me stay in their house. I was just not wanting to be outside anymore in the cold. At 14, I gave birth to a son. He wasn't a child that was conceived of love. At that point, I ran. I changed my name and I just kind of like hid out on the streets. When I was 17, I met my children's father. I had a common law marriage for 15 years. We had 4 children. I had gone through all of this trauma. I really felt like I was a person in life that didn't have a choice.
All right. She's been very nervous about this morning, and I'm giving her a moment to walk out and join us at this point. Yeah.
Dr. Phil, this is Misty. Dr. Phil.
Misty, Dr. Phil, have a seat. Just take your time, climb up. This is difficult for you.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good? All right, so tell me what's going through your head right now.
I know I just have to get through this. And I just want to get some help and like be able to move on with my life and have a better life and get the help.
Well, let's talk about you first, historically, because your journey through this world has been anything but easy. You said that At 10 years old, you were kicked out of your home, correct?
Yeah.
What was that home like before you were kicked out?
Awful.
What went on?
Starved, humiliated, beat. And like, I'm sorry that you're sitting here with me. Like, I understand how you must feel. I don't feel good about myself, and I know how you must feel.
Okay. Well, you don't know how I feel because we've just met.
Yeah.
I look at what people do, and that only defines them as long as they keep doing that. And I realize you didn't have a good experience early on, and you left, and you spent time with your mother, and you guys lived in the woods a lot, correct? And you say there were times that you would wake up and she would just be gone. And you would be in the woods alone how long?
For days at a time.
How old were you?
4 or 5 years old.
And what did you eat?
Milk thistles or like clovers.
How old were you when she threw you in the river?
Young, like same age, like.
This was in the 4
yeah.
or 5 range. You almost drowned.
Yeah.
Did she help you?
No, she was laughing.
Thought it was funny. And you said men, grown men, were having sex with you when you were 10, 11, 12 years old?
Yeah.
In order to let you stay there with them. And then at 14, you got pregnant. And that pregnancy brings us to where we are today. What did Misty do to cause her to email me 5 times for help? After the break.
We had sex and he did record it. It was like a heroin addiction, but it was like to a person.
And later,
When I met him, I changed. My family watched me go from a mother who was taking care of my children and making dinner and doing homework and flossing my kids' teeth into going to somebody who can only be addicted to talking to this person all the time. It was sickening. I was a housewife and mother for 15 years. And then I was reunited with this person. And when we met, I was not emotionally stable or mature enough. The relationship turned sexual. Eventually, I was arrested. Like I said, I was a housewife and mother for 15 years. And I'm worried that my 4 children that were caught up in the tangles of this mess are going to really have a horrible life.
well, I'm here with Misty, who you've just been hearing about in terms of her journey through early life. She made national news back in 2012 after a reunion with her long-lost son took a dark and criminal turn.
A court hearing is set for this week for a Lake County woman who's accused of having sex with her teenage son. 32-year-old Misty Atkinson is charged with 4 felonies. Prosecutors say Atkinson was an absentee mother who used the internet to find her son.
I wrote something like, "Do you know who your biological mother is?"
They exchanged text messages that allegedly turned into a sexual relationship.
They were freaking selfies. They were explicit. I'm sure there was nude photos. It was overwhelming. I couldn't stop it. It was like a heroin addiction, but it was like to a person. Eventually, I realized I don't feel like I'm bonded. I've never been his mother. Actually, my children's father took me to a motel to go meet him, and that's when the first sexual encounter happened. My son would come to the hotel room. We had sex, and he did record it 5 or 6 times total over maybe like a 6-month period.
Atkinson was arrested after the boy's father found out about the affair.
Eventually, I was arrested and I went to prison for 5 years. I was a housewife and mother for 15 years. And then I was reunited with this person. I don't know how to move forward from this situation. It has left me destroyed.
Misty, when you were talking about that, when that was playing, you put your fingers in your ears. Because that's hard to listen to, right?
I hate that I've done this. I hate that this is my life experience. I hate it all. I regret it all.
Now, at the time this took place, you had not seen your son for how long?
15 or 16 years. I just remember when I had him, the first day that I had him, and I saw him, and I just didn't. It was an uncomfortable feeling.
So you never raised this child?
No.
You never bonded with this child? You didn't feed him, mother him, change his diapers? You didn't do any of that with this child?
No.
And when you decided to try to reconnect, try to find him, you had 4 other children, correct? And you had been raising them. And how had that been going?
I was doing the best that I knew how to do. I kept them safe, clean, healthy. I didn't want them to experience anything that I have ever experienced, so I tried to do the best that I could with them.
Okay. Did you ever abuse those children?
No.
Did you ever molest those children?
No.
Did you ever have any sexual interaction or contact with
Absolutely
those
not.
children?
No.
So you're not a serial molester?
No.
You're not a serial sex offender?
No.
What made you decide to reach out to your long-lost biological son?
Just one day, my children's father went to a festival. He came back to the house and told me, like, that kid, it was there, and he's grown, and he's there, and this and that, and what do you want to do? And I didn't know what to do. We decided to look him up and reach out to him.
You told us some things about him when you met him. You said, I felt like I couldn't connect with him as a mother, but felt like I was connecting with him in another way. I felt like someone finally wanted me in their life. And you said talking to him eventually became an addiction. And you actually told him, I don't think we should talk anymore because this isn't healthy. And you said, I felt like I was developing feelings. And he said he didn't care, that he felt the same way.
Right.
And he wanted to keep talking. So we kept talking. At that point, were you recognizing these as romantic, sexual feelings?
That's the reason why I thought this is not a good idea to continue to talk, because I understood, like, I didn't feel like I was his mother, and so I just wanted to stop.
And after 3 months of talking, we decided to meet at the motel and proceeded to have a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Right.
Why meet at a motel? Why do that instead of meet at a food court at the mall or something to moderate this and put in some protections for both of you?
I don't know.
In retrospect, that might have been a better idea, right?
In retrospect, never even meeting him would have been a better idea.
Right. And you said, when my son entered the hotel room for the first time, I felt like I had an obligation to proceed what we had already started. And we had sex, and it felt normal and natural at the time. So the very first time you were together, you had a sexual interaction. Did you say to yourself, I'm actually having sex with my child?
No, I don't know. It was just, it wasn't like a relative. It was just, felt like a normal person.
So this didn't feel incestuous to you? This didn't feel like...
Not at the time, no.
While Misty admits that having sex with her biological son is the worst thing she's ever done, she says she believes it was wrong that she went to prison for it. We're going to find out why she thinks that was not the proper consequence when we come back.
I understand I needed punishment, but I just feel like being taken away of my children, like lost their mother.
What's your relationship with those children now? And later, I don't think that's a legitimate explanation. And by the way, I need to say something to you. So take a deep breath and make eye contact with me because you need to hear this.
When I went to prison, going in there as a sex offender was very, very difficult. It's the worst thing you can be when you're in prison. The correctional officers made sure the biggest, baddest people on the yard knew who I was. I've gotten beaten in there by lots of people. Although the COs would say that I my son.
Well, I'm joined by Misty, who says she lost everything after going to prison for having a sexual relationship with the 16-year-old son that she reunited with after leaving him behind years ago. Now, she says she is not the right candidate for prison or lifetime on the sex offender registry. And why do you say that?
I don't do anything like this to be considered a criminal. I feel like this is more psychological. But I know what I did was wrong. I understand that I deserve punishment for it. I'm a disgusting person for this. I know that. I wish I could go back. And I feel so bad every day. Because every day I hate myself for this.
Your point is that you're not a high risk for reoffending.
No.
So
Absolutely not.
Caging you up was not protecting society.
I understand I needed punishment. I learned a lot when I was in prison, and I think I came out a more aware person, but I just feel like being taken away of my children, like lost their mother.
What's your relationship with those children now?
I talk to them through online, but they've grown up 8-9 years without a mother. And they had a very hard life, and it was very, very hard for them, and it's my fault.
How do they feel about you?
I assume that they feel they've had no therapy, they've had no help, they're in the middle of nowhere, stuck just like I was at their age, and I assume that they have root feelings, that they're very, very hurt. Of course they are.
You told us when we talked to you in getting the history here, you say you don't feel like you should have gone to prison for what you did, that you should not be a registered sex offender because you're not a predator.
Not for the rest of my life.
Right. And you think that you suffer from something called genetic sexual attraction.
I did experience that for whatever it's worth.
You feel like genetic sexual attraction is a real syndrome and a real thing that you suffered from.
I do, because when I met him, I changed. I started changing. I stopped eating. I stopped sleeping. It was an addiction to this person. It was insane. My family watched me go from a mother who was taking care of my children and making dinner and doing homework and flossing my kids' teeth, making sure their rooms are clean, to going to somebody who can only be addicted to talking to this person all the time. It was sickening.
Well, Misty says her crime of incest can be explained away, not justified, but explained by the theory of genetic sexual attraction, or GSA. So we're going to take a closer look at that, which was essentially her defense, when we come back.
Many people view GSA as an attempt to essentially rebrand incest. I'm concerned that Misty and people like her may use the concept of genetic sexual attraction as something they cling to absolve themselves of taking personal responsibility.
I believe this was a case of genetic sexual attraction. When I was going to prison, my public defender came back with all this information. He said, look, this is something you should read because I think that this is what's happened to you. It was about genetic sexual attraction. When I read everything about it, it was exactly what I was going through. I am on the sex offender registry. I do not believe that I should be a sex offender for life. I'm not a predator. I do not have the desire to do this again.
Well, I'm joined by Misty today, who spent almost 5 years in prison, beginning back in 2012, for willingly having a sexual relationship with her then 16-year-old biological son, who she had not seen for 15 years, had not mothered or bonded with from the moment he was born. So from her experience, other than sharing some biological commonality, he was a stranger to her. But she claims that a condition known as genetic sexual attraction, or GSA for short, does explain what happened to her when she reconnected with him. Here's what one expert has to say about that.
My name is Justin Lehmiller. I am a research fellow at the Kinsey Institute. Genetic sexual attraction is an absurd theory for which there is zero scientific evidence. GSA is really much more of a media phenomenon than it is a scientific or medical phenomenon. It's not recognized by the American Psychological Association or the American Psychiatric Association. It also doesn't appear in the DSM-5, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. It doesn't appear in the ICD-9 either, which is the International Classification of Diseases. It's also not recognized by the Centers for Disease Control, or CDC, or the National Institutes for Mental Health. GSA is not legitimate at all. Many people view GSA as an attempt to essentially rebrand incest. I'm concerned that Misty and people like her may use the concept of genetic sexual attraction as something they cling to absolve themselves of taking personal responsibility. If Misty wants to move on and begin the healing process, I think that starts with dropping this concept of GSA.
Well, joining me now is Kinsey Institute Research Fellow and social and sexual psychology expert, Dr. Justin Lehmiller. Now, Doctor, I feel like I can make a very good case for why she was vulnerable to actually what she did, but GSA would not be on my short list of explanations. What's the genesis of this?
The term genetic sexual attraction is one that originated in the 1980s, and it was coined by a woman who herself had developed intimate feelings for a son that she gave up for adoption, who she met later in life. And she used this term genetic sexual attraction to describe the experience she had of developing those intimate feelings. So this is a term that was not coined by scientists, and there are hardly any mentions of it in the scientific literature. It's just not a scientific concept. It's a popular media concept that you hear in the tabloids, not in the academic literature.
You hear what Dr. Justin is saying, right? And I want to tell you that I couldn't agree more. with what he's saying. I think that is, I don't think that's a legitimate explanation. And by the way, I need to say something to you. So take a deep breath and make eye contact with me because you need to hear this. So it's not a rational choice, but there is an explanation for why these things flow from that kind of history, that kind of abuse. And later...
Am I going to jail? Am I going to get locked up?
Before we get back to today's program, I want to tell you about what we have coming up next Thursday. A Florida teenager went from being a straight-A student and cheerleader to being accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill her own parents. Now, Alyssa Hatcher stole money from her mother's purse and then handed it over to someone to have her mother and her stepfather murdered. She was arrested, and in an exclusive interview, her parents speak to me about the first time they saw her behind bars.
A Florida teenager accused of trying to hire someone to kill her parents.
Tonight, that girl is locked up.
Have you ever asked her, why did you want me dead?
No, not yet.
You haven't asked her that?
Last night was the first time I'd seen her since she's been in there.
Are you curious what she'll say?
Yes.
What in her mind would she be saying to herself to justify wanting you dead? Well, Alyssa was being charged as an adult. And here's the thing, this kid was on drugs. She really didn't know what she was doing. And I don't take this lightly, but if she gets tried as an adult, she's looking at 75 years. She could get life, she could get 75 years. I did not want this young girl's life to be ruined for a bad decision that I don't think is really what she intended to do. Anyway, that's all next Thursday. You don't want to miss that. All right, now let's get back to today's show. I need to say something to you, and you need to look at me and hear this, okay? So take a deep breath and make eye contact with me because you need to hear this. I don't think you're a horrible person. I think you made some really bad choices, and I do think, and I'm not making excuses for you, I'm acknowledging the fact that children do learn what they live. And I think your value system, based on your history, based on what you were taught your worth and value was, got down to a very base level, was physical from the time you were 10 years old. And when your self-esteem and your self-worth is defined at that really base level, there's a tendency to default to that. What do I have to offer? Well, I have to offer my body, my sexuality, but there is an explanation for why these things flow from that kind of history, that kind of abuse. Doctor, talk about it from that standpoint, if you will.
So trauma is something that can have a very powerful impact on our sexual desires and attractions. And sometimes it can lead us to act in ways that are unhealthy, unproductive, in fact, maybe counterproductive. I think in this case, it may be that all of these traumas that Misty has endured have led her to create psychological distance between herself and her son so that she doesn't view her son as her son. And that may have created this opening for that sexual attraction to have emerged and for her to have acted on it.
Look, is this a healthy choice you made? Of course not. And there's no other way to spin that. And I don't think that you are at risk for reoffending in that way, but I do think you are easily led. I do think you are very vulnerable to environmental influences and a very serious need to be accepted and belong, and I think it can cause you to compromise your logic a lot. Now, Misty emailed me 5 times for help, but it's been very difficult for her to be here, as you can well imagine. It would be much easier for her to just stay at home, keep her head down, and suffer through this for the rest of her life. But she didn't. She came here. So what do we do with that? What happens at this point? We'll be right back.
When I went to prison, it like destroyed my 4 children and their father. This whole situation, all the destruction that it's caused, I want to get help. I understand that like I'm a disgusting person. I mean, I know it offends a lot of people and it offends myself too. I just want Dr. Phil's help. I think if anyone's gonna help me, he's gonna be able to do it. Am I going to jail?
No, you're not going to jail.
Am
Okay?
I gonna get locked up?
No, it's time to be helped. Okay? As you heard, when we were going to break, I said she didn't have to come here, but she did. And as soon as we went to break, you asked me a question. What was your question?
If I was going to jail?
Out of all the questions you could ask, what makes you ask that particular question?
Because I'm terrified. I'm terrified to be here to talk about this.
And why did you want to do this? Why did you want to come here and talk to me?
To get help to somehow fix, somehow make a better outcome, and to be able to fix things.
Well, there are 10,000 people you could have talked to besides me that don't have 7 cameras following them around all the time. So why here?
This is like a huge mess, and I know you are a huge influence in person. You have a huge abundance of knowledge, and I just feel like on this level of a mess that you would be the one to sort of help me start fixing things.
Do you deserve to be helped?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doctor, when people have sexual dysfunction of this nature or at this level, has it been your experience that this kind of thing can be unwound, unraveled, and reoriented to a level of healthy functioning?
Yes. I mean, there are ways to move on to heal from this. The incest taboo is one of the most powerful and pervasive sexual taboos there is. And so from people looking at the outside in, that's a really high bar hurdle to clear. And so that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of work, and not expecting anything to change overnight. It's a daily process of taking that accountability and doing your best to make amends for it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about what he just said?
I'm just sort of surrendering to this process and allowing this to take its course.
Would you like to know what I think you need to do?
Be locked up for the rest of my life.
Well, that's one option, but it's not on my list. First off, there's no police backstage. Nobody's going to haul you off and lock you up. I'm here to help you. Okay, can we get that off the list? Cross that one off? I think the first thing that needs to happen is you need to deal with you. You've got to deal with the fact that you have a lot of open wounds, and you need very specialized help. You are a survivor of rape and abuse and sexual assault and all of these things that change who you are. And you've never had anyone help you with that. There's a place in Nashville, Tennessee, that I have a lot of faith and confidence in. It's called Onsite. And it is a retreat that you can go to that is, in my opinion, the worldwide leader in intensive workshops for people that have been through trauma, to know how to heal those things so you can begin to build on something solid instead of shifting sands. And I think you deserve that kind of help. And so I'm willing to make arrangements to send you there. And by the way, there are no locks on the doors. There are no gates. You can be there until you feel like you've gotten the value that you need. Are you willing to do that? I think you deserve that kind of help. So I'm willing to make arrangements to send you there. Are you willing to do that?
I don't know. It's so far away.
It's scary to think about. We'll take care of everything. All you got to do is be willing to show up.
How long is it for?
However long it needs to be, and that's up to you. This isn't jail.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and you need to grab on with both hands.
I can't imagine leaving my husband who's helped me through all of this to go. I can't do it.
Well, when your husband understands this, I think he will drive you to the airport. And we will certainly make him part of this whole process, okay?
There's no way that he can stop what he's doing. And
Okay, look at me. You need to not be figuring out how this won't work and figure out how it will work, because your alternative is to go back and spend another 20 years doing what you're doing right now. I'm giving you a ticket out of this hell, and you need to figure out how to make it work.
I have surgery coming up on the 19th. I've already paid for it.
Okay, look at me. I will work with your life. You need to tell me you're willing to work to get your life back.
I am willing to work to get my life back. I want my life better.
Okay. All right. Okay, we have to stop. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. I would like to thank all of my guests today. Misty, thank you. Dr. Justin Lehmiller, thank you for taking the time to come here and talk about this. Dr. Lehmiller has a book, Tell Me What You Want, which is all about the science of sexuality, which is out now. I highly recommend it. Don't forget to follow me on social media. You can tweet me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, or even double tap me on Instagram. We'll see you next time.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
From successful model to unemployed after just a few social media posts. You said being transgender does not make you a woman. It makes you simply transgender.
I did it out of spite because I was upset that certain transgender people called in to my agency and got me fired.
She then panicked and stated that she, in fact, was transgender. But that was a lie. Today is going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Sorry about that. I was just on my phone checking my Facebook, and you know what I noticed? People love sharing their opinion. We are so polarized lately that it's causing full-on verbal fights on social media. Are we too sensitive as a society, or do words really matter? Now, people are eager to give their opinion, but sometimes there are real consequences. You can lose your whole career with just one tweet. Take a look.
A growing number of celebrities facing both career and social backlash for things they posted online.
The reboot of Roseanne got a ton of attention and viewers this spring, but after its long controversial star posted a racist tweet, the show was over.
Well, that is some surprising breaking news. Comedian Kevin Hart is stepping down from hosting the Oscars.
The actor and comedian was announced as the host Tuesday afternoon. But overnight, Hart stepped down following an outcry over previous homophobic tweets. Dan Harmon, creator of the shows Community and Rick and Morty, came under fire for a video he posted in 2009.
My first guest suffered the consequences of sharing her rather polarizing opinions on social media. Kathy won the prestigious Miss Michigan title in July, but was stripped of her duties just 24 hours after being crowned. Here's what happened.
Being in a pageant was always on the top of my bucket list ever since I was little, and when I finally got it, I was super excited. The day after I was announced as Miss Michigan, I got a call from the state director, and she said that my tweets were deemed insensitive, racist, and Islamophobic. I said, what exact tweets are you talking about? She sent me 2 links to the tweets, and none of them, in my opinion, were racist or Islamophobic. The first tweet was about black on black violence. This was actually in response to another person, and this person has been tweeting, cops kill black people. And I responded, you know, the majority of black deaths are caused by other black people, so fix problems within your own community before lashing out and blaming this narrative on other people. The context was specifically replying to how cops kill black people, and that is why I referenced black on black violence. The second tweet was about a hijab day at my school. The girl went up to me and said, hey, do you want to try on this hijab? And I said, no, thank you. I was already late for class, so I left. Later that day, I posted this picture on social media. The statement I posted with the picture was, is this a religious garment or is this a fashion statement? Initially, when they told me to try on a hijab, I was a bit taken aback by it because I feel like if I was a Muslim, I would be offended that people would try on this garment just for fun. And that's what was deemed Islamophobic. I lost my crown just last month. These tweets were posted about a year or 2 years ago, and it was not relevant at all during the time I was Miss Michigan. Since I lost the crown, my life has been hectic. I've been crying a lot of nights. Some of the most harmful things I've read on social media about this was that I'm a racist and that the university should kick me out because I'm such an intolerant person. The people who preach for tolerance and call me racist are the same people who call me slant-eyed, dog-eater, flat-face, and other racial slurs. I've had over 1,000 death threats on all forms of social media, but it doesn't really affect me anymore because there's so many of them. I think people on social media are way too sensitive nowadays. Even if they are proven wrong, they still want to lash out at you.
Okay. Tell me what you thought was going to happen when you wrote that. Anything, nothing, something? Were you trying to create dialogue? What was it? Why did you write anything at all?
I mean, since 2016, I've been an active political commentator on social media, and I started in high school. And these tweets were actually written, 2 years ago. When I wrote those, I just wanted to express my opinion. I wanted to express how I felt in that situation, and to back it up with some facts or some pictures.
Do you stand by what you said in that particular quote? And the quote was, did you know the majority of black deaths are caused by other blacks? Fix problems within your own community first before blaming others. And you were responding to another tweet that said, stop killing black people.
Correct.
Which was in reference to police actions, right?
Yes.
So do you stand by that?
Completely, yeah. Everything I said in that tweet was backed up by FBI statistics.
And you're referring to FBI stats on homicide data, and I put some of those up. White victim total 3,567 homicides in 2017. White offenders 2,861, 80.21%. Black or African American victim total 2,970 homicides. Black or African American offenders 2627, which is 88.45. So that's what you're talking about when you say that most of black deaths are by black offenders.
Yes, yes. When you see my tweet by itself without the context of it, of course, it looks bad, but I was referring to another tweet, and I actually quoted it on my Twitter account.
Yeah, but here's the thing, particularly if you aspire to a position of high visibility, recognizability, where you're representing your state and all of that, is Twitter a place to have a serious conversation? Is it irresponsible to sum this up in 140 characters or less? I mean, because if you're going to have a serious discussion about this, you need to talk about all the different statistics. I get invited onto newscasts all the time, on cable news and stuff, and I say, well, what's going to happen? Well, we've got a 3-minute window here. We want you to talk about race relations. I say, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not going to discuss a 200-year history of race relations in America in 3 minutes. Thank you. No, that is an insult to the people involved. It's an insult to the topic. It trivializes it, and I won't be part of that. So I say no, probably. When was the last time you saw me on one of those shows talking about that stuff?
Oh, never.
Never. When was the last time you saw me on a panel of people all yelling out different things? No, I'm either going to have a serious discussion that's thoughtful about the topic or not at all, and you're tweeting about it. I mean, that just seems irresponsible to me.
No, I kind of completely understand your point. I get it completely. But the thing is, though, I've been doing political commentary since 2016, since I was a junior in high school. And that's my hobby. I love doing it. And this, in particular, like, we have to understand that this was in response to someone else. And that's why I referred to the specific fact about the black on black crime instead of white on white crime, because that wasn't even the topic. So that's what it was.
Well, that's completely unresponsive to my point.
What was...
my point was, is that the right place to be making a glib comment on Twitter with a limited space to make your comments? Because I don't think that you were meant to be offensive, but I think that that's a glib comment that is very easy to take out of context.
What do you suggest I do when I do see a comment that says cops are all bad or cops are all pigs? What do you think I do?
I think it would be good to say something like, I actually wrote a thoughtful essay on this. Here's a link. And you can link to an essay where you have the time to talk about the subject matter in a thoughtful way.
I understand your point. I do get your point, but I disagree in that subject. If I post an article, a full article with facts, statistics, no one is going to look through it and look for what's happening. People want this satisfactory of getting the information in 1 second, 2 seconds, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that, hey, there is another side to this whole story about cops killing black people. There is a statistic to back it up, and that's what I did.
Well, the fact that they read headlines, make decisions, and move on is none of your business. What is your business is what you say and are tied to when you're in the position that you're in. All right, find out why Kathy says coming out as a conservative is harder than coming out as gay when we come back.
I was given an ultimatum, either to stop posting my political views online or to leave the sorority. I chose to leave. I was bullied once for how I looked, and now I'm bullied for how I think. A lot of the students in my university think that they can't come out of the conservative because they don't want backlash from other students. I don't want to diminish the fact that coming out as gay is a very difficult thing to do. I completely empathize with that, but I think that if you walk into any public space and shout out, I'm gay versus I'm a Trump supporter, you'll definitely get weirder looks for being a Trump supporter. When I walk around with a Trump hat on, I get weird looks from people. Once a burrito thrown at me, people spit on my shoe sometimes. I have a sticker on my laptop that says, I support free speech, and people don't want to sit next to me in class. They look at me weirdly. They question why I'm Asian and a conservative.
Well, Kathy won Ms. Michigan 2019, but got her crown removed the day after, they said, because of comments she made on social media, which the pageant deemed offensive, insensitive, and inappropriate. That's a quote from them. Kathy says they're just her political views, but she also got kicked out of her sorority for the same type reason. Take a look.
I was born in China and moved to Florida when I was 5 years old. I was bullied as a kid when I was in elementary school for being Asian. Of course, I was really upset about that. In high school, I was bullied because of my conservative values and beliefs. It's difficult for me to comprehend that because I was bullied once for how I looked, and now I'm bullied for how I think. When I first joined my sorority, I posted about it on social media. Other sorority members found out, and they decided to look through my social media and found insensitive posts. Then they told the higher-ups. They never told me what was insensitive about it. They just said that my tweets were insensitive, just like the Paget story. I was given an ultimatum, either to stop posting my political views online or to leave the sorority. I chose to leave. I have a very small circle of friends, but they were back in Florida since I moved to Michigan last December. I have acquaintances from classes, but I don't have many friends that I'm very close to. Whenever I'm in class or around campus, I feel like there is a target on my back. I think that people know about me from this story, and they automatically assume certain qualities, even though I try so hard to present myself in a nice manner. When it comes to jobs, schools, opportunities, you should be judged on the character and not your political beliefs.
Okay, so that wasn't the only, Paget wasn't the only place you got criticism and deemed as being inappropriate and offensive. What do you think about that?
It's definitely a pattern. I mean, right now in society, the political climate is so toxic, and it's so difficult to even talk about your political views. And I think that shouldn't be the case. I think that we should definitely have an open dialogue. If any of them, the pageant or the sorority, came up to me and said, hey, like, why do you think these things, and can you explain or elaborate? I'd be like, yeah, sure, talk to me. I would love to have a conversation with you. But when people see me online, I say that to them, they're like, no, I don't have the time to talk to you. You're a racist, I don't want to talk to a bigot. Stuff like that, and it's ridiculous.
I have to go back to something I said earlier that you kind of said, yeah, but. You said, when somebody writes something like they did and I responded to it, what do I do instead? I suggested what you do instead is link to something where you have an opportunity to be more fulsome in your answer. And you said, yeah, but nobody will read that. So instead, I defend the fact that I made what many can think is a glib, racist comment and suffer the consequences from it. Do you really discount my suggestion of being more thoughtful and linking to something because you think maybe people won't read it?
No, I get your point completely. I think that, now, obviously, I would definitely link to an article and stuff like that. I don't think that I should be deemed racist for providing facts. I don't think facts are racist. Facts are facts. So that's it.
Well, of course, statistics are statistics. They don't have feelings. They don't have agendas. But they can be weaponized and taken out of context. You just can't sum this up in 140 characters, and I think it's irresponsible to try.
I mean, so do people who say cops are bad and cops are pigs.
Exactly. I think it's idiotic. That's not the place to be having a serious discussion about serious issues with serious people. That wasn't the only thing. This is another tweet that you say got you in trouble. There's a try a hijab on booth at my college campus. So you're telling me that it's now just a fashion accessory and not a religious thing? Or are you just trying to get women used to being oppressed under Islam? You found it offensive that they were asking you to try it on?
No, I wasn't. It wasn't offensive that they told me to try it on. For me, it was like, if I was a Muslim, I wouldn't want people to try on my religious garment that represents my religion. For me, it's like we don't see try on a rosary day, for Catholics in school. So, what is the difference? You know what I mean? And also, I think that the reason why I put the last statement on that tweet was because just 2 years ago in Saudi Arabia, women were just legalized to drive. And if you don't think that's oppressive, that women were not able to drive 2 years ago, it's just wrong.
Well, you had a response to the Miss World America, and your comment to them was, what's insensitive is that women in the Middle East are getting stoned to death for refusing to obey their husband's orders, to wear hijabs. A Muslim woman tried to forcibly put a hijab on my head without my permission. I tweeted about it on my social media, and it got the attention of the media. And are the people in MWA, Miss World America, implying that they advocate for the punishment of women who refuse to wear a hijab? I'm sure you will love to find a woman who is cookie cutter perfect and says brainless comments like, "I love world peace."
So that was in response to their email.
So you weren't trying to curry favor with them?
Oh no, I didn't want to change my views and opinions based on some crown. No.
All right, coming up, I want Kathy to meet someone who feels her tweets are insensitive and misguided after we come back.
The relationship between my parents and I have been really difficult. They speak primarily Chinese and I speak primarily English. We could have some conversation here and there, but it's very difficult to communicate because they don't know enough English to fluently talk to me, and I don't know enough Chinese to fluently talk to them.
Well, Kathy was kicked out of her sorority. She lost her Miss Michigan title, apparently because she shared her political views on social media. Kathy says she feels targeted because of the way she thinks. Now, joining us is Raida Hamida, the founder of hashtag Taco Trucks at Every Mosque and hashtag I Stand With Hijabs. She was recognized as one of the 100 most influential people in Orange County, California by the OC Register. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having
me. You've been listening to everything we've been talking about, right? What's the problem with Kathy's comments, if at all, from your point of view?
So what I think is really important to shed light on is that earlier she mentioned that she would totally be open to dialogue and that she would love to speak to someone, right, that would kind of shed some light on some of the things that maybe she's given information about. So do you have any friends that are Muslims?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I would like to share with you an opportunity to be my friend, because I just think that it's really important when you're surrounded around the same group of people all the time and they don't share different perspectives, you tend to think the same way. And so I wanted to give you an opportunity to learn from me as a Muslim. I am a proud hijabi. I wear hijab pretty much like 20 hours a day because I sleep for 4 hours. But I wanted to let you know also, I chose to wear hijab, and the vast majority of women in this country that wear hijab actually choose to wear hijab.
In this country?
Yes. You're Asian, right?
Yes.
Do you know the vast majority of Muslims around the world are Asian?
Mm-hmm. And China, yep.
You're mentioning Saudi Arabia as if that's the only Muslim country or population that
they
have
implement
Muslims.
Sharia law, yes.
Yes. So, only 19% of Muslims are Arabs, and so it's important for you to just break down who Muslims are.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you know what's the largest Muslim population here in the United States?
I don't know.
It's African American.
Okay.
And the fastest growing Muslim population in the United States are actually Latino.
Okay.
So we're everyday people. We're just like you. I happen to wear the same color shoes that you are wearing. We're more alike than you probably think.
What does the hijab represent?
So hijab actually in Arabic just means covering. It just means covering. And hijab itself represents the symbol of Islam. So women that wear hijab, the intention, the vast majority, purposely wear to observe their faith. To characterize me wearing hijab as my personal and American right to wear it.
Are you
And you're
discrediting-
saying that, excuse me, let me finish.
You talk the whole time.
When you say that that the purpose of wearing the hijab for this Wear Hijab Day or, World Hijab Day is almost to be oppressed, under Islam, like that's oppressive to me for you to say that. I actually was born in this country. Were you born in this country?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. I wear hijab, right? And I'm practicing my First Amendment right. I was born in Burbank. I'm a California girl, right? And it is the most American part of me to practice my faith.
I'm curious if you feel at all enlightened by anything that she's said here.
I think that, you know, hearing you speak about it as your experience in America with your religion, it's a great thing to know that that is accepted in America. But again, specifically for me, I was talking about those in Muslim majority countries who operate under Sharia law and implement Islam as like a ruling, like a government thing. Yeah. And that's you know, I like having a conversation with you because I get to understand your perspective from it, and I hope you understand my perspective on it too.
You mentioned earlier that, you know, you have a target on your back for the things that you said on social media. I have a target on my back just because I wear hijab. So
Well, I've learned from some of the things you've said today, so I thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. My next guest went from successful model to unemployed after just a few social media posts. She says she's here to clear things up. We're going to meet her next.
Give me the eyes right here on camera.
The first post that got me in trouble was being transgender does not make you a woman. I was looking for attention and it just started to spiral. People started calling me transphobic. I made a second post that got me into way more trouble.
My next guest, at just 20 years old, was traveling the world, hanging out with celebrities, and on her way to becoming the next supermodel. Carissa has been featured in campaigns of major brands like Coach, Marc Jacobs, and Rihanna's lingerie. But she recently found herself in a PR nightmare that ended in a big loss for her career. Here's what happened.
A few months ago, I was in Japan. I was shooting for clients. I felt isolated, I felt alone. And I happened to come across a story about a transgender woman who was brutally murdered. Her name was Malaysia Booker. I felt I needed to shed light on the situation. The first post that really got me in trouble was when I stated, being transgender does not make you a woman. It simply makes you transgender. I was looking for attention when I first made the post. It was selfish. I was definitely sleep deprived. I was in the moldy room, and the side effects from the mold are nausea, depression, anxiety. The moldy room definitely played a part in the post. A lot of famous people reposted this, and it just started to spiral out of my control. People started calling me transphobic. My agency sent me home from Japan about 3 days after I made the post. After being home for about 2 weeks, my agency told me that it was best that we just move on. People were just shunning me. I even tried to sign with another agency, and they told me now's not the best time, and I panicked. I made a second post that got me into way more trouble. I did it because I took some really bad advice. I wasn't ready to come out about it yet, so I'm being forced to tell the truth. I'm transgender. I did it out of spite because I was upset that certain transgender people called in to my agency and got me fired. A week after I had posted that I was trans, I then posted that I lied about being trans. The hate got significantly worse. The first post doesn't bother me because I knew my real intentions behind it. I regret my second post the most because I lied about being something that I'm not.
Okay, why did you sit down and type what you typed to begin with, the first post?
I was just going through a lot of mixed emotions. After reading a post about Malaysia Booker, a transgender woman who was just brutally murdered. And I felt as though I needed to create a dialogue about it in any way that I could, and I just didn't express it correctly.
Okay, well, here's your post. This was on May 23rd. You said, being transgender does not make you a woman. It makes you simply transgender.
Correct. I just wanted to start a dialogue. I just didn't know the consequences would be so detrimental and devastating to my career.
Do you understand the concept of gender identity?
I believe so.
Gender identity is really one's internal, deeply held beliefs about who they are. So if someone is assigned as a male at birth, but their deeply held beliefs, their enduring, deeply held beliefs, are that of a female, then they would be referred to as a transgender woman.
If you believe internally that you are a woman, then who am I to say or judge and tell you that you're not?
Good point, which is why your tweet would be offensive to the sensibilities of those who feel at the absolute core of their soul that they are, in fact, a woman. They are, in fact, female.
I've realized now, I really do realize now that I could have come across way more kind. It was just very insensitive during such a sensitive time, you know. And I really want to just make an apology to myself, first and foremost, for ever saying that I was something I'm not. I think that was the lowest point in my life.
Because then the next thing, you said, I really do want to take back my trans comment because if they can say they're women, I can reclaim my virginity.
Well, can't I? Can't I say that?
Well, you can say whatever you want to say, but when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. Carissa has many excuses for why she did what she did, but is she really owning her words? And if not, why not? We'll talk about that next.
I was still active on social media after I made the statement because I felt I had to defend myself. Defending myself made it worse, and people definitely just began to slander my name more and create rumors. Someone actually said that I compared transgender people to pedophiles, and I never did. Every day I was receiving hate mail, death threats, all types of rude and mean, ignorant comments. It just really started to affect me mentally, physically, socially, in every way. This incident has affected my life.
Carissa was on her way to stardom with an international modeling career when posts that were labeled as transphobic derailed her dreams. And then she went into what I called damage control mode. Because on July 22nd, she posted, I wasn't ready to come out about it yet, but today I got fired and I've been receiving hate mail and death threats ever since, so I'm being forced to tell the truth. I'm transgender. That was a complete lie.
Yes, it
right?
was.
And am I right to say that was an effort at damage control?
Well, I was receiving death threats and hate mail. I completely was just financially destitute after my agency dropped me. You know, I just felt as though I had no other choice. You know, I panicked.
When you go back and look at it, the excuses were kind of all over the chart. And you said, I'm only 20 years old, I'm just human. The words were taken out of context. I was sick in Japan. There's tons of black mold in my room. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I'm not really thinking. I'm in it in a biological, scientific context. I thought saying I was transgender would make some trans kids feel less strange for coming out. Maybe that's why I did it. Took bad advice from family members.
Well, you know what, Dr.
It's just kind of
Phil?
all over the place.
I'm here on your show today to take accountability for what I said.
And on July 26th, you made an apology, and it said, I apologize for any transphobic remark I've ever made towards the trans community. I panicked. I thought if I came out as trans that I would somehow make things better for myself, but it appears I've only made things worse. I'm truly sorry. I'm only 20 and I'm human. I make mistakes, but I refuse to let them define me. I hope you all can forgive me and move on from this incident. And I'm not a coward. I'm taking some time to reflect on my actions and hope you all can try to understand.
I am not at all proud of what I did. And I just want to make amends and possible reparations and move on with my career and be the fantastic international supermodel that I know I am. And I refuse to let this define me because I am so much more than this, Dr. Phil.
Coming up, a woman says that 16 transgender women have been murdered this year alone, and that is why words matter. She's going to join the conversation when we come back, and we're going to let you have your say. We'll be right back.
Being a kid from African-American descent with light skin and freckles was really hard because I couldn't blend in. I experienced body dysmorphia as a kid, and because of the bullying, I would think that there was something wrong with me. So that's why I am a model.
Excellent. Give me that smile again.
I have kids from all over the world that contact me and tell me that what I'm doing is so inspiring. If I gave up modeling, I feel as though I would let down a lot of people.
Well, Carissa lost her modeling contract in New York after posting what people labeled transphobic comments on social media. She then panicked and stated that she, in fact, was transgender. But that was a lie, and she later apologized for saying that. Carissa says she understands what transgender women go through because she has dealt with discrimination. So joining us is Ashley Marie Preston, a cultural commentator and trans activist, and Jayla Rocks, TV personality and the first African-American transgender woman to own a beauty company. So welcome to both of you. So you guys have been listening to the conversation, right?
Yes.
So let me give you all the floor first.
Yeah, I think that probably one of the most heartbreaking parts of the story was bringing up Malaysia Booker, who was a Black trans woman who a week before she was murdered had been violently beaten by a mob of people that went viral. And so the fact that you wanted to open up this conversation to be helpful is in direct conflict and opposition of the fact that statements such as yours are direct contributors to the violence that trans people face.
I'm a very spiritual person, so I wanted to think, like, where is this coming from? It seemed like it came from a scared and hurt place, from a scared and hurt person. And I admire you today for coming here on a public forum and stating your apologies, but something about it doesn't seem genuine to me, you know?
Well, I think as I sat backstage, I cringed because you said, first and foremost, I want to apologize to myself. And when I heard that, it further underscored the fact that I don't know that you're quite sad about your actions as much as you're sad about the inconvenience of accountability.
And I think this is so important for you is education. Because, and I'm not trying to be condescending, and when I use the word ignorant, if you look it up in the dictionary, it means an absence of information. And I think a lot of what you said was said from ignorance, not malice. I don't think she understood the gravity of what she was saying or the impact it would have on the community that you say that she just completely invalidated with her words. And I don't think she's going to have the ability for authentic remorse about this until she really educates herself and understands why what she said was so wrong.
I think that education is important, but you don't need a doctorate to understand the common concept of respect. I think what you're learning now that many people understand is while it is a country where we do have free speech, a platform is a privilege, it's not a right.
We'll be right back. You said you wanted to have the floor to make a statement, so the floor is yours.
I know that I hurt people, and I know that I have upset many people, not just the transgender community, but personally my own community. And, you know, I'm on the Dr. Phil show now to make the transgender community a priority and restore everyone's faith in me again. And in no way did I mean to come in and just completely invalidate everything that they've worked so hard, you know, to build.
You were talking about, like, you know, now that I've said this, I've been bullied, that I'm getting death threats. That's every single day for a trans woman of color. In fact, they're not threats, they're promises. And we've seen this in the fact that we've had 16 trans people who've been murdered this year. 15 of them were Black trans women.
That's why I say education is very important.
But who are we educating,
here.
though? Who are we educating? Because we're not just educating you. We're educating the audience. We're educating people at home in Middle America. There's a whole country between New York and L.A. So there are people who need to know whose people, it's not just you, just to go ahead and clarify. People have asked online, well, you can't have children, so you're not a woman. We need to reevaluate what our definition of womanhood is. And because we're having the conversation with Carissa, Carissa is able to stand up and be a model and a person who can help show what that looks like. But we have to be able to talk about it, because otherwise we're still going to keep getting killed.
Well, you just said something very important. What do you think is the main thing people need to understand to stop that from happening?
I think transphobia, when we think about what transphobia looks like, first and foremost, I would offer up that unless you are a person of trans experience, you don't get to determine what's transphobic and what's not. It's an opportunity to engage in dialogue with us, to not only find out how that makes us feel, but to actually allow us to underscore and draw out how those comments and those ideologies underscore our suffering and marginalization. And so, like, I think if I could just leave with one thing, it would be to really expand your scope and definition of what womanhood means and allow all women to be visible.
I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Rida Hamida, Ashley Marie Preston, Jayla Rocks. Thank you guys for coming and talking about it. And thanks for the last thing you said in particular, because I think that's something people need to understand. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you for coming here and talking about this. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. And thanks for the last thing you said.
Last looks, everybody. Last looks. Here's your producers. Jump on in and go.
Hi. So we just kind of wanted to give you an update on Eric. We've really been efforting to have him participate in any way, shape, or form. So we've asked him to fly out here. He declined. We sent him a Polycom device so he could participate. He said, you know, I don't think I can make that work. And so from the very least, we said, how about a statement? He said, I don't have a statement. And we asked if there's anything you want to say, and he said, no, ma'am. So just kind of interesting that he doesn't really have much to say and says, I don't really care what these two women have to say. I'll just find out when the show airs, which is very interesting that they're both here to fight for him.
So he's hiding out.
Yep.
To him, he's like, why waste my time? That's essentially how he sees it.
They're not going to lie to each other. They're here to tell all the truth about what's going on in the relationship.
He's been telling the girlfriend not to tell the wife that they've been sleeping together.
Let's see it. Let's do it.
Thank
all
you.
Right, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, she's in love with a married man.
He is married, yes.
Now,
Brooklyn says that her boyfriend's wife is irrelevant.
she faces off
I don't really think I should have to explain myself.
with her boyfriend's wife.
She is here.
Do you realize that I'm not the first one?
So he's had others.
You are a fling. He wants to make our marriage work. Stop talking to me.
He's lying to both of you. Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. going to find this a little hard to believe, but 18-year-old Brooklyn says she is sick and tired of her mother butting into her love life and trying to ruin her relationship with her boyfriend, Eric. Brooklyn's mother, Courtney, admits she wants nothing more than to see them apart. But that's only because Brooklyn's boyfriend has 2 children and a wife.
My daughter Brooklyn is in a relationship with a married man and doesn't see anything wrong with it. It makes me disgusted. I don't understand how my daughter could do anything like this. Brooklyn is attracted to guys that are pretty much sugar daddies or the bad boys. I don't feel like Brooklyn respects herself. If she did, she would not be sleeping with a married man. I do not feel that Eric has any intention of divorcing and will ever leave his wife. All Brooklyn ever says is that I'm trying to run her life. Brooklyn said she wished Dr. Phil and Robin were her parents, and I told her that I didn't think that Dr. Phil or Robin would put up with her crap. If Brooklyn does not end her relationship with Eric, then she's not going to continue to have a support system. That includes me. That includes her whole family. If Brooklyn does not stop seeing married men, then she will get hurt because wives don't put up with that. I honestly do feel like Dr. Phil's the only one to get through to her because she does respect him more than she respects me.
Well, Brooklyn is adamant that she's not doing anything wrong and says her mother just needs to back off or she will file a restraining order against her for harassment.
My mom doesn't like that I'm dating Eric because he's still married. She's always trying to get us in trouble. It does piss me off. I've never had a close relationship with my mom. I only started to get to know my mom when I moved in with her 2 years ago. She just starts yelling at me for no reason. I feel like she's bipolar. Last year I moved out and met my boyfriend Eric. I ended up staying at Eric and his wife's house because I had nowhere else to go. The main things that attracted me to Eric was his smile and his hair. I love the length of his hair. I did start to have feelings for Eric after a few weeks. It was around Christmas time when Eric first kissed me. One night, my mom reported me as a runaway. Police came, handcuffed me and Eric, and took us to the police station. My mom thought calling the police would break me and Eric up. She was wrong. My mom doesn't know that Eric and his wife don't interact, and they don't even sleep in the same room. Eric and I have been having sex for about 10 months. I get called a homewrecker a lot. We hold hands and we laugh like we're in a relationship. Normal boyfriend-girlfriend things, except he is married, yes. I've tried telling my mom to get out of my business, then I get back, oh, well, I'm your mom. I have to be in your business. And I'm just like, no, you don't. This is the best relationship I've ever had, and it is absolutely fantastic. I would do anything possible to keep my relationship with Eric. I'm in love with him, hardcore.
So what is it about Eric that you like?
Everything. Like his personality.
You like his hair.
Oh my God, I love his hair.
You love his hair.
I love his hair.
Yeah.
And I love like his personality, and I love the way he treats me, and really just everything. Just everything about him is just like attractive to me, except, you know, the fact that he's still technically married. That's the only thing that...
He's technically married. What does technically married mean?
They don't sleep together. They stay on opposite sides of the house, and I know that because he FaceTimes me at night, like... And they don't really even talk. Like, I've seen their text messages. I know exactly, like, what's going on. It's not like I'm blindsided by anything.
Why did you start staying with Eric?
I was originally just staying with my ex-boyfriend at Eric's house.
Her ex-boyfriend and Eric are friends.
Okay. You were able to watch Eric and his wife while you were there?
Yes, sir.
And you knew they were actively married while you were there?
Yes, sir.
So you saw that?
Yes, sir.
So you knew they were actively married?
Yes, sir.
You knew they weren't separated? You knew they were living under the same roof together?
Yes, sir.
So, he's got great hair and a crummy marriage.
He doesn't have gray hair.
What?
He doesn't have gray hair.
I said great.
Oh, yes, he has amazing hair.
So you told him to leave your daughter alone?
I have told him quite a few times.
And apparently he didn't heed that.
No. He doesn't care about anything that anybody tells him.
But I don't want her in my business either. Like, it's not her business.
No. No.
I'm
And you don't
18.
think it's his wife's business either?
I didn't say that.
No, you actually did.
Well, I don't really think I should have to explain myself to her because she's tried to screw me over too, just like she has. So, like, why would I sit there and give his wife information when she's doing the same thing that she's doing?
So because we want what's best for you, that's screwing you over?
I don't want you around me.
Well, and his wife doesn't want you around good hair Eric.
That's okay. Good hair Eric keeps coming around me.
Well, but Eric's not here.
No.
Eric's not here, right?
Because she decided that she was going to anonymously call his job and say that he's on drugs, and now he's basically under the microscope and he can't leave or, like, even miss work.
Well, I don't think he wanted to be here.
He didn't.
He really didn't want to be here, did he?
He said that he would have.
Well, if he said so, then... Well, okay, look, Brooklyn says that her boyfriend's wife is irrelevant to her because she says they were separated before these two got together, Eric and Brooklyn. Was Eric just telling Brooklyn what she wants to hear? We're going to investigate that next.
And then music,
You told his wife that, by the way, my daughter's sleeping with your husband.
I did.
How'd that go over? And later, there's an old saying, if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you.
Why are you crying?
I don't think you understand how much you actually do hurt me doing this stuff to yourself.
You're still meddling in something that you don't even need to be in.
Ready effects to 41 in 3, 2, 1, effects.
My mom has called the police on Eric and I several times.
My goal was to break them up. I really just wanted to put Eric in jail.
Recently, my mom called the police and tried to get Eric and I arrested for second-degree burglary.
When the cops came, she told them that she was on the lease, but didn't have any paperwork to back it up.
The police showed up, knocked on the door. They had their guns out. I thought I was going to be shot.
In the end, they both got out of handcuffs.
When my mom calls the police, I think she feels like it's going to push me and Eric apart, but in reality, it just brings us closer together.
Well, Courtney's daughter, Brooklyn, says that she and her boyfriend are in love, and they've even talked about marriage and her becoming a stepmother to his two children. In fact, she says they've even talked about having children of their own. Take a look.
I miss you. I said, I miss you too. I wish you were here. He said, I know. Me too. Eric and I's relationship is perfect. Definitely fantastic. Eric calls me his baby girl, tells me that he loves me all the time.
Eric is pure trash, and for him to date Brooklyn openly in public is ridiculous.
We're very loving, caring, affectionate towards each other.
Eric is very disrespectful, not only towards my daughter, but I feel he's very disrespectful to his wife.
Eric buys me clothes, food, we go out and hang out together. Eric has gotten me my iPhone. He bought me my case. He has also gotten me this designer purse. He does a lot for me.
Eric spends money on my daughter that he hides from his wife, Mandy.
He does spoil me, hardcore.
Eric got a bonus check from work and told his wife, Mandy, he lost it and spent it on my daughter. Eric has a secret room in his house behind a bookshelf that Brooklyn was staying in. Eric does call that his man cave.
Eric was sneaking me in through his window every day because I didn't have anywhere else to go. Eric's kids do know about me, and they come up and they'll like hug me and give me kisses, and like it's really cute. They call me Star. It's kind of like a code name so Mandy won't know that they're talking about me.
Brooklyn has actually told me that Mandy's so stupid and she doesn't know what's going on.
Eric and I have talked about marriage one day, like way future. I think Eric will eventually leave Mandy. I'm hoping that Dr. Phil just tells my mom to butt out. I like that Dr. Phil is really straightforward and he just tells it how it is. I do. I've been watching your show for like ever, Dr. Phil.
I appreciate that. You say Eric loves you, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you say you don't really have a place to stay and you're just floating around, and he's separated from his wife. So why aren't you living with him?
Because he's trying to pay off his charges that he got back in February.
What kind of charges?
It was unauthorized use of vehicle to a minor and contributing to a minor.
And who's the minor?
Me. I was the minor.
He's got a DWI, right?
Yes, he got that last year before I ever knew him.
So he was drunk driving?
No, he wasn't driving his car. He had just gotten on his motorcycle, and that's when the police showed up.
Okay. So he was driving drunk while sitting on a motorcycle?
Well, he had just started driving the motorcycle.
Okay.
He said he wasn't even down to the stop sign yet, and I know exactly where he was at.
Okay, so he was driving?
Yeah, it's just not far, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So he should have had a DWIS, driving while intoxicated, sort of. Just a short distance. If you had been there with him, would you have gotten on a motorcycle with him to go home?
No. Not when somebody's drinking. I'm already, like, nervous to get
So
on
you
there.
do have some boundaries?
Yes, sir, I do. I do.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, I do.
So you can't live with him because he doesn't have the money to get a place because he's paying off legal charges.
And not only that, he can't sign for an apartment either because he's had charges within the past 2 years.
Right. So where's he living?
He's staying at his house that he owns with Mandy.
Oh, so he's with his wife.
Not with her, but yeah, like, no.
It's kind of like he wasn't driving, but he was.
No, like they don't.
And he's like with his wife, but he isn't.
It's a big house. Like he stays on one side, she stays on the other. They don't really even talk unless it's about the kids.
Now, you told his wife that, by the way, my daughter's sleeping with your husband.
I did.
How'd that go over?
She was very appreciative.
She is here. So we're going to add her to this conversation after the break.
When I first met Brooklyn, I thought she was a sweet young girl, but I found out my husband Eric was cheating with Brooklyn. When I confronted Eric, he just kept denying it. I know who the liar is.
And later, has your husband ever told you that he wants a divorce?
No. He wants to have the best of both worlds. He wants his little fling, which that's what you are. You are a fling.
3, 2, 1, effects. Ready, 41.
Brooklyn's in for a huge surprise because Brooklyn does not have any idea that Mandy and I talk every day. I wrote her a note with my phone number and put it on the windshield of her car. And when Mandy called me, I told Mandy about Brooklyn sleeping in Eric's car with him, that Eric wasn't going to the places he was going. I was actually the one that informed Mandy about his job promotion and check that he got. And then I sent her all the receipts for all the stuff he bought Brooklyn. Brooklyn doesn't have any idea that Mandy and I are secret friends and that Mandy knows everything that has been going on.
Well, Eric's wife, Mandy, says that 4 weeks ago, Courtney confirmed her biggest fear, which was that her husband is having an affair with Brooklyn. Take a look.
My husband's affair with Brooklyn is ruining our marriage. Everything that Eric tells me is a lie. When he's gone, it's because he's with Brooklyn. When I first met Brooklyn, I thought she was a sweet young girl. What I didn't know was that she was a 17-year-old runaway. In January, I found out my husband, Eric, was spending time with Brooklyn. I called the police. Eric got charged with 2 misdemeanors. One time, I discovered that Eric was hiding Brooklyn in his man cave. Here's your bookshelf door. You have to pull a certain book, and it clicks. And then you push it open, and this is the room that my husband's been sleeping in. That's where Brooklyn was sneaking in and out of these windows over here. I'm gonna open one of these. Meanwhile, my sister went outside, and she saw Brooklyn crawling out the window. So you could just open it, and then just crawl right out here. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, Courtney, Brooklyn's mom, told me, your husband is cheating on you with my daughter. When I confronted Eric and told him I have proof, he told me that he has not ever had sex with Brooklyn. He just kept denying it. He's still just lying and denying everything. I know who the liar is. Courtney told me that Eric had got his bonus check from work. He had spent it all on Brooklyn. Eric told me he never got his bonus check. She told me that he bought her a promise ring.
I cried when he gave it to me because I thought it was sweet.
My reaction was, what on earth is he promising her? Eric is Brooklyn's sugar daddy, but he also wants to maintain his family as well. Eric still continues to lie to me, even as of 2 days ago, about taking Brooklyn to the airport to fly to LA to be on the Dr. Phil show. He denied it. I'm at the end of my rope with Eric, lying and cheating to me. He's going to have to face it head on.
Mandy, Dr. Phil, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Have a seat.
For some reason you're looking down?
No.
Okay.
I think you know everybody.
Yep. I do.
I haven't
And
seen you in a long time.
Brooklyn lived in your house, right?
Mm-hmm. I opened up my house to her. Now I'm in this situation with this girl who thinks that she's in love with my husband.
Did he tell you he was having any relationship with her at all?
No.
Do you realize that I'm not the first one?
The first what?
The first girl he's...
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on.
The first...
Has your husband ever told you that he wants a divorce?
No.
He's never said, and y'all aren't separated.
We are not separated. Sleeping in a different room in a home does not constitute as being separated.
I've seen you guys' text messages.
Excuse me. I have seen your text messages.
Cool. I'm glad you did.
Okay, so he's telling you that he doesn't have an intimate relationship with her at all?
Oh, yeah. I asked him on Monday. I told him, I know that you've been cheating on me and sleeping with her. And he said, I have never had sex with her. And
had sex with her in my house.
And why would he tell you that?
He wants to have the best of both worlds. He wants his little fling, which that's what you are. You don't know it now because you're 18 and you think you know everything. I am 16 years older than you. I was 18 once and I thought I knew everything. You are a fling. But...
Says the one who got married.
Listen to me.
You trapped him.
No. You listen to me now. You listen to me. I texted him yesterday. I can show you the message. I told him, do you still love me? Do you want to fix our marriage and make it work? Question mark. And he said yes. He wants to make our marriage work.
Well, he's lying to the both of us then, so...
I guess
you,
so.
You just can't be mad at me then.
I can be mad at you. I am
you
mad at
can.
you.
You're
I'm
right.
furious at you.
I'm glad.
It doesn't matter if you like her or
I
not.
don't like you either.
You should still respect her.
Stop talking to me.
I don't have to.
Yeah, you do.
No.
No, actually, I
doesn't
don't.
have to stop talking to you. You need to listen.
Yeah, we'll be
You
right
need to
back.
start listening.
You were his first, right?
Yeah.
I'm his fifth.
I don't believe you.
That's what he told me.
Ready, effects to 43. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, effects. Ready, 43.
Eric got me a promise ring.
But Brooklyn picked it up.
He basically gave it to me on Valentine's Day, and it's really special to me because it promises me and him to be together.
I have seen the promise ring. She wears it every day on her wedding ring finger.
I cried when he gave it to me because I thought it was sweet.
I'm pretty sure that the promise ring is fake.
Looking down at my hand and seeing the promise ring, it makes me feel secure about my relationship.
There's no way that Eric could hide that much money from Mandy to buy a real diamond promise ring for Brooklyn.
Well, Brooklyn claims that Eric told her he is planning to divorce Mandy, who is here, but Mandy says that he's never once mentioned that he wants to divorce. In fact, she says he still claims he's just helping Brooklyn out. Now, you started to say he's had other affairs.
Yeah. You were his first, right?
Yeah.
I'm his fifth.
I don't believe you.
That's what he told me.
Okay, well, the fact that anything that comes out of your mouth is a lie, and same for him.
Okay, but let's just assume that you're not the first one that he's cheated on his wife with. Do you realize how much that cheapens your relationship with him?
She trapped him, though.
No. You know, there's an old saying, if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you.
Okay.
I mean, if he will...
No, you're the exception, right? You're the exception.
No, if he will cheat on her with you, what makes you think he won't cheat on you with her?
But it just hasn't happened yet. Why are you crying?
I don't think you understand how much you actually do hurt me doing this stuff to yourself. You say you don't want to have a relationship with me and that you don't like me, but you're still my daughter. And it still hurts.
Yeah, but you're still meddling in something that you don't even need to be in.
She's trying to show you the error
You're
of your
trying
ways.
to be a mother to you.
I don't like you. I don't like you. Like,
I don't care
we're
if you
just
like
alike.
me.
Well,
I don't think you like yourself.
Me. Fine.
You don't behave as though you do like yourself, because if you did, you wouldn't let yourself be used and abused this way.
I don't feel like I'm being used.
Well, I know you don't think that. I know you don't think that, but you said in jest that you wish that Robin and I were your parents. I guarantee you there would be one message that we would have for you, and that would be value yourself enough that the standard for admission into your life by any young man would be very high, and that their credentials, their resume would not be A, that they're married with children, B, that they're cheating on their wife, C, that they're in trouble with the law. This is a person that, if they loved you, would not be letting you bounce around on the streets with nowhere to live.
Well, they do.
If I had to live in a box under a bridge, I would do it before I would let that woman want for something. Because if you really love someone, you put their interest ahead of your own. Well, just last week, Mandy received something from Eric, and it wasn't divorce papers. We'll talk about that when we come back. You realize he's lying to both of you, right?
I just feel like you're listening to their side of the story.
No, I'm listening to both sides of the story. You don't think he's lying to you?
No.
4, 3, 2, 1, effects. Ready, 43.
My husband has never turned me down for sex since we've been together. In the last month, he's tried several times to make moves on me, but when Eric tries to kiss me, I pull away. Just last week, Eric wanted to sleep with me, and I turned him down. I've been denying him because I've had a suspicion for several months that he might be seeing somebody. Now that I know for sure that it's true, I want nothing to do with that. The fact that Eric is sleeping with Brooklyn makes me disgusted, betrayed, and angry. He's having an affair. Why would I want to sleep with him? That's gross.
Well, Brooklyn believes that Eric has been faithful to her during their 10-month relationship, but Mandy says, well, that's just not true.
Last weekend was my birthday, and Eric handed me this birthday card. For my wife, the love of my life, not a day goes by that I don't realize how lucky I am to be married to you. We have a love that's undeniable. After reading the card, I went to Eric and I asked him, so I'm the love of your life? We're a good couple? We can get through anything? And he said, yeah. I thought, how can I be the love of his life if he's sleeping with someone else? If he actually means these words in the card, then he needs to prove it.
He clearly is having an active sexual relationship with her, right?
Yes, and
you don't deny that,
proud
correct?
of it. No, she's proud of it.
You realize he's lying to both of you, right?
I just feel like you're
No, I don't
listening
think
to
she
their
does.
side of the
I don't
story.
think she
No,
does.
I'm listening to both sides of the story. You don't think he's lying to you?
No.
He's over here telling me that he loves me. He wants our marriage to work.
Do you want to know why?
Are you
Because
just going to keep saying the same thing?
Well, because I just want to make sure you're listening, like,
Oh,
loud
I'm
and
listening.
clear.
You're the only one here not listening to anyone. Go ahead.
He said he's only doing that to make you happy for now because he doesn't want the kids to be taken away from him.
Have you considered that he's telling you one thing to make you happy and then telling me one thing to make me happy so that, again, he can have his cake and eat it too?
It's really astounding to me how naive you are. I mean, he's lying to both of you. I actually made a a chart of what he's telling the two of you. According to Brooklyn, both say, I love you. According to Mandy, on 11/11/19, birthday card from Eric, love that's undeniable. According to Brooklyn, 2/14/19, a promise ring and discussed marriage. Mandy's still wearing her wedding ring, so he's promising you one thing, and you're still wearing the promise that he made to you. According to Brooklyn, you spend the night together often. According to Mandy, Eric claims to be with friends out until 4 or 5 a.m. According to Brooklyn, sex often and unprotected. Eric claims to have never had sex with Brooklyn. He spoils the blank out of me. According to Mandy, barely making it by on bills. According to Brooklyn, faithful to me, not sleeping with Mandy. According to Mandy, sex with Eric 5 times this year, most recent 3 months ago. According to Brooklyn, Eric said plans to divorce Mandy. According to Mandy, has not mentioned divorce. He's lying to both of you. And guess what? He's not here. We asked him, and he said, frankly, I don't care what those two have to say.
That sounds right.
We gave him the opportunity to just make a statement, to send us a statement and declare where his loyalties lie.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
He doesn't have the
And he didn't do it.
You want to create a life with somebody. He already has a life with somebody.
Mandy says she hasn't divorced Eric
Kids.
because she wants her kids to know she has done everything to save their marriage. But is this marriage really worth fighting for? We'll talk about that next. Brooklyn, let me ask you something. Don't you honestly recognize that he's not manning up on your behalf here?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Wouldn't you feel a whole lot better about it if he had finished one relationship before he started this one? Wouldn't you feel better about it if he was above board about this whole thing, so you could say, you know, at least he doesn't degrade me by having me crawling in and out of a window like a thief in the night. At least he treats me with dignity and respect, and I can walk down the street holding my head up high. I don't have anything to hide. He's not put me in that position.
I don't.
Wouldn't you feel better about it if he didn't put you in a position of having to be the other woman?
I don't feel ashamed.
Answer the rest of it.
Like, I don't feel anything that you've mentioned, like...
Okay, so you wouldn't want him to be clear in his loyalty to you?
I mean, I would, yes.
Okay, and
I feel like she's just saying stuff to stir up the pot.
lady, it's your pot.
That's what I'm saying.
And whatever you do with it is up to you. And look, you're going to have every option here because he is going to move on from her and change her like a dirty shirt. You know it, and I know it. She doesn't know it because she still has stuffed animals on her bed. And she doesn't know that. And in her defense, she is young and naive. She really doesn't know what she doesn't know. And right now, she's got somebody blowing in her ear and telling her what she wants to hear, and she's responding to that. This is not an evil person here. She's just naive, and she's being manipulated. The decision you have to make is whether or not you want to invest the energy to try and rehabilitate this marriage or whether you don't. He didn't come here for a reason. He's a coward. Or he would have been here. And that will have nothing to do with her. And I suspect after all of this, he'll find reasons to not spend much time, if any, with her. And that's going to be very painful for you, but that's one of the lessons of life. And I hope you will learn a lesson from that and realize that if somebody really cares about you, they wouldn't leave you bouncing around on the street, and they wouldn't let you be in the awkward position you're in. Coming up, a wife and mother who has a few glasses of wine to ease the stress. Does that make her an alcoholic? Well, we'll talk about that next. My next guest, Tamarin, is married and has 4 children, works 11 hours a day as a social worker. Now, Tamarin says having a drink or 2 or 3 after work calms her down. But based on family history, she does wonder if she could be headed for trouble. Take a look.
I've suffered with anxiety my whole life. 10 years ago, I discovered that if I drink, I calm down. I'll have anywhere from 1 to 3. Sometimes after everyone goes to bed, I'll go downstairs and have a drink. During my childhood, my dad was always drinking. I don't think I ever knew him sober. Eventually, he got liver failure from it. I remember the last time I talked to him, I knew that was gonna be the last time I ever heard his voice. I never thought drinking would be a part of my life. I lost my dad. His brother died from drinking. It was a family legacy I didn't want to continue. My anxiety is my drive to drink.
Well, Tamarin is joining me along with our very good friend from Pfizer, Dr. Frida Lewis Hall. So welcome to both of you. Thank you for being here. So, Tamarin, what is your greatest concern about having several drinks a day, or are you concerned?
I am concerned. I want to set a good example for my children, so I hide my drinking from them. But also, since my dad and his brother were alcoholics, I worry that I could have inherited that disease.
You know, first, I want to congratulate you for acknowledging that there could be something here that needs to be addressed. So, Dr. Frida, let's start with the basics. Many adults enjoy alcoholic beverages, but what are some of the dangers?
So, alcohol affects pretty much every organ in the body. It can cause impaired judgment, it interferes with coordination, it can delay your reaction time, and it can affect your mood. And then over time, excessive use of alcohol can increase your risk for a whole slew of very serious health conditions: stroke, heart disease, liver disease, certain cancers, anxiety, depression, birth defects, and that's just to name a few.
Yeah, now, you mentioned excess alcohol use, so let's define what you mean by excess. How much is too much?
Health experts really vary in their response to this question. So some studies suggest that some alcohol might be beneficial to your health. Some studies suggest that there is no safe amount of alcohol. According to U.S. guidelines, moderate alcohol consumption is 1 drink or less per day for women, 2 drinks or less per day for men.
Mm-hmm. So why are there different opinions about whether it's okay, not okay, good, bad?
It's complicated in part by the fact that from person to person, the effect of alcohol is different. Your sex, your age, your body weight, whether or not you've eaten a meal before you drank the alcohol, and many, many other factors affect how alcohol affects you.
Mm-hmm. Now, Tamarin mentioned that she's concerned with her drinking given her family history. So let's talk about the genetic aspect of this, how inheritable this is.
Studies show that alcohol use disorder runs in families, and children of alcoholics are approximately 3 to 4 times more likely to become alcoholics. Mm-hmm. So it's not just family history, it's social, psychological, and environmental factors as well.
So do you think that you have a problem with drinking, that it's interfering?
I don't think I'm an alcoholic because I don't need to drink, but I do use it to help with my stress and panic attacks.
Doctor, how do you advise people as to measuring whether they have a problem with alcohol?
Well, there are a few questions you can ask yourself for starters. So ask yourself, in the past year, have you had times where you drank more or longer than you had intended to, even though it may have caused problems at work, in your relationships, or in other parts of your life? Have you had times when you were craving or urging to drink? Also, have you had the desire to cut down, to stop, or even tried to stop but couldn't? Have you found that you need to drink more to get the desired effect? And if some of these apply to you, go to your doctor and ask them to see if you have a dependence on alcohol and how to treat it.
As you say, there's nothing wrong with having drinks in moderation. It's when it starts to interfere with the pursuit of your goals. And, think about it if you're at home, particularly if it's in your family tree, because it's certainly in my family tree, and so it's something that you do want to think about. If you or a loved one is wondering how drinking may affect your health or any health-related issue, then be sure to go to the website gethealthystayhealthy.com. You'll find resources there. You'll find loads of information there. It's right at your fingertips. It is a great website with lots of information.
Yeah, thank you. And of course, while you're there, you can sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah. Look, I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Freda Lewis Hall. Do you have a problem or situation in your life that you think I can help? If you do, then let me hear from you. Email me at drphil.com. You can tell me all about it. And if you're in the Los Angeles area and would like to be in our studio audience, all the information is also on my website. Just click on tickets for all the details. The tickets are free, so you can come join us. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
What do you say to that?
I say that she believes that we are stalkers because we are watching to see what's happening at the home. We have multiple reports saying that there's drug activity, that there's people coming and going in and out of the house. If that's stalking, then I don't know what to tell her.
How do you feel about the fact that your daughter takes your ex's side over you?
I don't believe in how my ex-wife parents. I still would never allow my daughter to talk to my ex-wife the way she talks to me.
Jason thinks that it's your fault your daughter's the way she is.
That's the most ignorant statement anybody can make because it's never just one person. Ever since she was a little girl, he did nothing but browbeat her, made her feel very self-conscious about who she was as a human. As far as letting her get away with stuff, I wish I had as much control as he claims I have. If I could manipulate, then I'd be able to control. So obviously, that's not what's happening here.
What do you think when your dad says things like he blames your mom for all the stuff that you are going through?
He blames my mom because he doesn't want to accept responsibility for what he does. My opinion on him is based off of how he treats me, not anything my mom says. He's abusive, physically, mentally, my whole life. My mom knows what works and what doesn't work. She knows how to be a parent, and she's been both parents, a mom and a dad, my whole life. My dad hasn't been anything. He hasn't been a dad.
What do you want Dr. Phil to know?
I want to know that we need help.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, she claims her ex spies on their daughter.
You've installed 7 security cameras
because he thinks she's a bad mom.
You say she has allowed your daughter to date felons.
They weren't felons at the time.
But what about Dad?
You slapped your daughter. You argue in front of her.
You can't own the hurt you've given her.
This is abusive. You are an abuser. You are an abuser. Today is going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Tina says her ex-husband Jason has put 7 cameras on the exterior of the home that she lives in to spy on their 16-year-old daughter. 7 cameras around the perimeter. She says that Jason follows their daughter around town, starts fights with her friends, and even takes photos of their license plates just to prove that she is a bad mother and that he is the better parent. Now, Jason says that he has to closely monitor their daughter's whereabouts because Tina is a what? Bad mother. Surprise, surprise. Take a look.
My ex-husband Jason is harassing me and our 16-year-old daughter big time.
You follow, you stalk, and people are done with your and so am I.
This is sad, Tina.
She has her own feelings and opinions.
But you're the parent.
Hold
You're
on
the
a
adult.
second.
You're the parent too, but you don't act like one.
My ex-wife, Tina, is an enabler of our daughter's behavior, and she will not allow me to properly discipline her. Your passive-aggressive manipulation on this child is the reason why she's the way she is today.
I'm traumatized.
You don't control what she does today, but you have controlled her mind.
Because I live in his mom's house, Jason actually installed surveillance cameras. He's claiming that they're up because he needs to keep an eye on what our daughter's doing. It's insane.
They all have video. I didn't really want them to know that it has audio. I don't feel that having the cameras up is intrusive at all.
When our daughter was younger, Jason would not allow her to have her own emotion. He pulled her out of the closet one time. She didn't want to go with him, but he dragged her down the hallway. There were times where he's even had his arm around her neck, choking her.
I don't care if you cry because I have no more remorse for you. I have no more sympathy for you. You need to stop lying.
I don't think I've been abusive or a monster. I'm just trying to parent.
As our daughter got older, she started seeking a lot of male attention. She also started smoking marijuana. My ex-husband blames me for everything that our daughter is doing.
I found out Tina was allowing an 18-year-old boy to sleep in my daughter's room unsupervised. I have pictures of these people in her room.
So you're taking pictures of me in my room?
No, you took the pictures.
How would you find these pictures? Please.
Social media.
I blocked you on all social media. How did you find that?
I have people that give them to me.
She's surrounding herself with not so great people. In her mind, these boys can protect her from her father. Honestly, our daughter needs Jason to own up to what he's done to her.
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her? She gets her temperament, her aggression from me. That is all that you've owned.
I've owned other things.
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Okay. Is there agreement here that your daughter is in a bad spot?
Yes.
So you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
And you agree with that?
Absolutely.
So she's not hanging with the people that you wish she was hanging with. She's not making the choices you wish she was making.
Correct.
So what do you think's going on? How did this happen?
It started at a very young age, when Angela was younger. Her dad was around, and he'd bring her places, treat her, relatively decent. But he wasn't around for the important things like her competitions. It was always, he'd either show up late or not show up because he had work.
That's not true.
Angela had asked him one point, when am I going to be more important to you than work? And his initial response was, somebody's got to pay the bills. And in my mind, it should have been something more like, sweetheart, you're always more important, but I had to do X, Y, Z. There's been name-calling indicating that he doesn't want to get her to get fat. He doesn't want her to be the type of kid that can't see her feet.
That's not true.
He's called her a slut.
That's not
a
true.
bully.
A bully, yeah.
There's a lot of things that he has called her throughout her years of growing up, and it got worse as she got older.
So this is the problem.
On all fairness, 80-20.
But you say you're having to plug in because she's not doing her job as a mother.
Correct.
You say that she has allowed your daughter to date two felons when she was 14 and 15 years old.
That's absolutely correct.
They weren't felons at the time.
Oh, at the time, they weren't felons. They're felons now.
Kids.
They're locked up.
They wound up, and I had no idea. When they would come into the house, very respectful to me. There was no indication at that point and in time that there was anything.
Well, Mr. 80 over here says that you are allowing your daughter to do things that worry him about her safety and well-being. such as vaping every day, smoking marijuana on a daily basis, selling drugs, buying drugs near the home, that the neighbors are complaining about strange men coming and going, and that's why he's got the cameras around.
The only ones that complained about the strange men coming and going are the people downstairs. They had indicated that there were 4 people in the backyard that we were not aware of. As far as her selling drugs, that is not accurate. As far as me allowing her to smoke marijuana every day, that is not accurate. Do I know she smokes? Yes. Do I agree with it? Absolutely, 100% not.
Is she vaping?
On occasion, yes, she's been doing the vaping too. And it's not with...
Do y'all own a television?
It's not with me.
Do you have a computer?
I've posted numerous times
I've
about...
tried
You
to
understand this is life-threatening, right?
I know that.
And the vaping and the issues with vaping.
And when
I send them to her. I'm the stalker.
And when she sees them, she's like, yeah, no, I've heard about this too. I said, do you not realize that this is a real problem? This is a real issue. No, I know. But when she goes out with her friends, I just think, I can't stop her. I can't be on top of her 24/7 when she leaves the house to go hang out with her peers from school. It's a tough situation. She knows where I stand with all of that stuff, and I don't condone it.
Yeah. You know, the interesting thing about discipline is that discipline is supposed to be instructive. When you discipline a child, whether they're 1, 2, 5, 15, or whatever, is that they will internalize that discipline so it becomes self-discipline. And you teach them to value themselves enough so when they're out in the world, they'll make decisions so they don't allow people to take advantage of them. They don't do high-risk behaviors because you've taught them to feel valued. You've had them internalize discipline so they put those things in place so they pump the brakes when you're not around. So do I understand you can't be there 24 hours a day? Yes, I do. My question is, what are you doing when you are around?
When I'm with her and I explain to her what could happen and how this can affect your future, because she wants to be an attorney, I said, all these things, you need to understand the repercussions of what can happen when this happens to you. And I plant all those seeds with her.
Okay, so you defend your parenting. You're okay with your parenting?
For the most part.
Okay,
I mean, I know I
got
have
it.
errors.
Okay, got it.
He had his arm by her neck and said, give me the phone or you're gonna get hurt.
That's not true. I'm taking the phone and I'm pulling it away from her.
That's physical.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Turn it off! And later, one of you's not telling the truth here. If you're just gonna come in here and lie, you're wasting my time.
You know what, honestly,
Are you a slow learner?
no.
Okay.
You know what? Now, you've slapped your daughter,
I have.
according to her.
Yes.
Why would you slap your daughter?
There was a struggle to get the phone.
Why was there a struggle to get the phone?
Mom couldn't get the phone. She invited me in to take the phone from her.
Okay, and I'm curious about this because what he says is you push as much as you can to try to get compliance, and when you can't, then you call in the enforcer, and then you complain when he enforces.
This is the way he does it.
Why do you call him then?
Because you know what, honestly.
Are you a slow learner?
No.
I mean, you know what he does.
I know. Slow learner as far as thinking it might have a different impact when he comes in. But I've learned, obviously, it isn't. I have hope that it'll be different. But what happens is he comes in, he pushes the door open. She's cornered in between the corner of the room.
She was pushing against the door and wouldn't
the
let you
wall
in.
and the corner of the door. He had his arm by her neck and said, you have 30 seconds to give me the phone or you're gonna get hurt. He took the phone, he gave it to me, he shut the door with his foot, and the next thing I know...
That's not true.
The next thing that
You're standing in the hallway.
I was in the hallway, so
You're
I
in
could
the
see
hallway.
you shutting the door.
She slid down the door and pushed the door herself. I wasn't even on the door.
I saw
she
you.
shut the door.
No.
And then when she got to the bottom, she kicked me.
She did
She
not
went to
shut
kick
the
me in the
door.
groin, but she kicked me in the leg.
She did.
And that's when I
So
stopped.
you're okay with your parenting, but then when you can't get done what you need to get done, then you call in the
call him,
enforcer.
and it becomes-
And then when he comes in to enforce, you don't like the way he does
Because
it.
it's
And then
very
calls the police on
physical.
me.
It's very physical. I mean,
Right.
my daughter's
And you
crying,
know that
Mom,
before you call him.
Yeah,
That's why I
and
said, are you a slow learner?
I'm
Because you
thinking-
said this
I
is a
know,
pattern.
I shouldn't be doing that. I know. And you know
Okay.
what? And that's why I stopped.
Okay,
I
and so
had to
you...
stop. There was
All right,
one
and so
recent
you're
one.
the adult in the situation, so you get in a situation with your daughter that melts down into a physical confrontation over a phone.
When you say...
What, are you raised by wolves? What are you doing here that you're doing this interaction with your daughter?
No, it's not a matter of a physical. It starts out where I'm taking the phone and I'm pulling it away from her.
That's physical.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Turn it off!
She has the power to turn it off. I don't have the account.
Well, God forbid you would communicate with each other.
I have. She refuses to turn it off. She refuses to stop the Snapchats and the
So
Facebook
you've installed
and the
7
Instagrams.
security cameras so you can watch.
It's not so I can watch them.
And listen.
No, I installed the cameras.
And listen.
Because we got information that there was drug activity going on in the house. The house is owned by my mother.
You watch and listen.
Recently, yeah, the cameras are up with
You know, it's got
microphones.
sound, right?
Yes, on the front door. Yes.
It's not a secret. It's an outside. They're all outside cameras. They're not facing inside the house at all. I get the mailman. I get UPS. I get everybody. They're all on the sidewalks.
Okay, so you don't communicate verbally very well, so let's look at some of the written communication. So this is Jason's email to Tina concerning the daughter being out late. So this is you sending her an email just recently, 1:47 a.m. Tina, it's almost 2 a.m. on Saturday, November 30th, 2019. Our daughter left your home at 7:30 a.m. Friday and has not come home yet. I also noticed when she went in separate directions from the boy that was in your home. Where is our daughter and why is she still out at almost 2 a.m.? I also noticed that last night she came home at 12:45 this morning. Tell me why you're allowing a 16-year-old girl to stay out until this late hour on a regular basis. Jason. Okay, so you're tracking when she comes and goes.
Well, the cameras are up so I can see them. I have a notification when the camera's tripped. So
They're motion activated?
They're motion activated, correct.
Okay. So when she comes and goes, you get
I get a notification.
A signal.
Yeah. Anybody that comes and goes, the mailman, anybody.
Right.
The people downstairs.
Okay. So she's coming and going at 2 o'clock and 12:45?
That happened once. That was a one time.
Once? No, that's not true. That's not true. I have the documentation.
Well, he does because he used a GPS tracker to find his daughter when
she used a
she
GPS
went
tracker.
missing.
That's
and
incorrect.
it led
She
him
used
to an abandoned lot. We're going to find out what happened next. We'll be right back. Tina says that you videotaped your daughter and posted it on YouTube with the title, An Entitled Child.
And then once my family viewed it, I removed it.
What are you sarcastically laughing about? And later,
I should take the cameras down, leave my daughter alone and not parent at all. And
well, let's set up a paper tiger and then tear it down. You think I'm an idiot?
I'm expecting an answer.
Shout him out to me then. All right, we got that one.
Okay. Jason would always threaten to go to court to get full custody of our daughter.
Tina violated 27 visitations with my daughter. I got a lawyer and he told me, I could take your money, but there are no grounds for a change of custody.
Even if he got custody of our daughter, it wouldn't last. I really don't think he understands the capacity of raising a teenage daughter.
I still wanted to push change of custody because I wanted to light a fire under Tina's ass.
Okay, Tina says that her ex-husband Jason has been stalking their daughter by putting cameras around the house and following her every move. Jason says he is forced to keep tabs on their daughter because Tina refuses to parent and lets their daughter rule the roost. Now, this has been going on for a while, and I'm curious about this because Tina says that you videotaped your daughter for 45 minutes and posted it on YouTube with the title, An Entitled Child. And you did that to punish her for getting your daughter a new phone.
No, that's incorrect. The reason...
I'm sure it is. I have no doubt.
The first part is I punished her. And when she kept on with the smart answers, I was trying to show my side of the family how she behaves when she's with me alone in my home. Because there are people in my side of the family that listen to Tina and actually believe her sob stories of me being abusive. So I videotaped the conversation, and then I ripped it through YouTube because that was the only way I knew how to rip it down to that kind of a video, and then I pushed it out so my family could see it. Once I realized that the YouTube video was private, let's put it that way. I made sure there was a privacy on it, and then once my family viewed it, I removed it from YouTube. So there's, you know, the side of the story that she gives is slanted.
What are you sarcastically laughing about?
He's saying he removed it once his family saw it.
Absolutely.
There was a publication, a marketing tool, if you want to say, on Facebook. Please check out my video, The Entitled Child.
That's not true.
Okay, now wait a minute. Okay, all right, okay, stop. Stop talking. Look, guys, I've been doing this for too long. I'm too old. There are not versions of the truth. It can't be both. Now, one of you's not telling the truth here. And everything I've said, you've said A, you've said B. You've said A, you've said B. Now, if you're just going to come in here and lie, you're wasting my time. You're not going to get any help from me.
She's wasting your time.
So if that's what you're going to do, then, you know, we might as well shut this down and we go do something else. I mean, if you're going to lie, I can't help you. If you're really here for help, then you're not going to be in a CYA mode. You're going to actually tell the truth.
Well, that's what I have been doing, because the realistic purpose for this is for our daughter. And
okay, was there or was there not something on Facebook that says, see my video entitled Child?
I've had people tell me.
Do you have a picture of that?
I have people.
Did you take a picture of it?
It doesn't matter if she has a picture of it or not. Did you put it on Facebook or not?
Absolutely. I put it on my Facebook, which is private.
So it was on
Facebook. I'm not denying that it was on Facebook.
Yes, you are. You did. You spent time denying it. You've wasted 5 minutes of time denying that it was there when, in fact, it was there, just in context.
Yes, it was on my Facebook, which is private.
Then why did you say it wasn't?
Well, because she said that there was a publication as if it went out as a publication.
No, I said you put it on...
It was private.
You put it on Facebook to market it.
Why would I market? It's not marketing. See, this is the reason that I said no, because she's saying marketing. I'm not marketing anything.
You're putting it on your page to say, take a look. That's the marketing.
It's not a matter of that. It's a matter of my family seeing the enablers in my family that believe you in the things that you do.
Okay.
Well, you know, I'm just really curious how much you're willing to pay to be right.
I know.
I'm serious.
At this point, to be honest with you, it's not a matter of right or wrong. It's a matter of there needs to be a change. And I'm looking, that's why I wrote into you.
Yeah, I hear you. I see your mouth moving, and I hear you. But I see you both running your own agenda, and your daughter is paying the price for it.
Exactly.
So would you say that I should take the cameras down and just leave them alone and leave my daughter alone and not parent at all and not try to get help?
Well, let's set up a paper tiger and then tear it down. Do you think I'm an idiot?
No, not at all.
Well, don't ask me a loaded question with a ridiculous premise, expecting to get an affirmation that in some way empowers you in this argument.
So I'm expecting an answer.
Miss 20 that's here to defend your parenting, that's pretty good. I got some more of those.
Oh, I know you do. I get very emotional when it comes to what I know my daughter has told me.
Honest to God, you're going to defend that?
I know that.
And the vaping.
35, take.
Issues with vaping.
I'll tell you what I do want you to do. You want me to tell you what I do want you to do?
I respect it. I would.
Okay. Yeah. There's a video that we made with you guys, and I took a little excerpt out of it and just made it into a loop. And this happens in front of your daughter.
Is the reason why she's the way she is today.
I'm traumatized.
You don't control what she does today,
You think-
but you have controlled her mind. Your passive-aggressive manipulation on this child is the reason why she's the way she is today.
I'm traumatized.
You don't control what she does today,
You think-
but you have controlled her mind. Your passive-aggressive manipulation on this child is the reason why she's the way she is today.
I'm traumatized.
You don't control what she does today,
You think-
but you have controlled her mind. Your passive-aggressive manipulation on this child is the reason why she's the way she is today.
I'm traumatized.
You don't control what she does today,
You think-
but you have controlled her mind.
She is passive-aggressive.
Okay, let's see the next one.
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around.
That's the story
She's
of
been
my
around
life.
for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been?
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her?
You haven't been around. She's been around for every single.
Okay. Miss Twinney that's here to defend your parenting, that's pretty good, pretty much okay. It's like another 10 minutes of that. I got some more of those.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do. You know, I get very emotional when it comes to what I know my daughter has told me she needs and wants.
Seriously, you're going to spend more time defending that? Honest to God, you're going to defend that?
She doesn't realize she did anything wrong.
I don't need your help. If I do, I know right where you are. I'm speechless. Your initial reaction for both of you is to justify it. This is child abuse. You are an abuser, you are an abuser. What he says is you push as much as you can. Let's take a look at another piece of tape.
She's not a parent.
She parents 10 times better than you've ever done.
This would not happen.
That's not true.
You created an entitled child.
Let me ask you
created an
something.
entitled child.
Let me ask you
and that's why
something.
we're here today.
Nuisance.
Did you get that?
Stop it.
This is how she talks.
Listen.
She's not a
parents.
parent.
She parents 10
If
times
she
better
did
than you've
parent,
ever done.
This would not happen.
That's not true.
You created an entitled child.
Let me
You
ask you
created an
something.
entitled child.
Let me ask you
and that's why
something.
we're
Let
here
me ask
today.
you something.
Nuisance.
Did you get that?
Stop it.
This is how she
Listen.
talks.
Listen.
Yeah, we got that.
But that's what I experience anytime I get involved with them. They both barrage me. So.
I'm speechless. After you looking at yours and you looking at yours, your initial reaction for both of you is to justify it.
Well, I wouldn't say justify it.
No, I said you justify it.
You said justify it. Okay. If that's what it came across as.
Seriously? Do you not see the issue here?
Oh.
You're doing this in front of the child. Mm-hmm. What you're seeing here is abusive. Mm-hmm. This is child abuse. What you're doing here is child abuse. I am trained as a forensic psychologist. I have worked in the court system to advise the court as an ad litem for children as to what is in the best interest of the child. This is abusive. You are an abuser, you are an abuser. What you're doing is damaging this child. You're doing this in front of the child. I show it to you to the point of reductio ad absurdum, taking something to the level of the absurd to make it so obvious that the most casual observer, people driving by out on Melrose, can understand this. And you two, right over your heads.
I get it.
You apparently don't.
No, I do.
Because what you should say after that is, oh my God.
No, I agree.
When I see myself doing that on the big screen, there's no way there could be any communication. There's no way there could be any problem solving. There's no way there could be any hope of any kind of resolution where we as two adults could come together and work out a way to guide this child down a more constructive path. And I'm part of that, and I'm going to stop.
I agree with you.
I mean, seriously, guys, come on.
It took a while for me to get like that loud because I was watching her crying. But I get it. I get it. I shouldn't be doing that at all. I shouldn't be doing that at all. I allow my emotions to get the better of me. And I shouldn't do that. It's hard.
And you say, I can't be there 24 hours a day. And she goes out and does things I don't want her to do. I wonder why. This is chaotic, it's violent, it's aggressive, and then she goes out and beats some girl down. She is in such turmoil, she goes out and gets physically aggressive and beats some girl up.
Right. A lot of anger in her.
And where do you think she got that?
Oh, for both of us. There's no doubt about that.
I would take that.
You know, there's another adult in this scenario, Grandma Patricia. I guess we'll add her to this mix next.
Jason has a dossier of all the things that he feels Tina has done wrong as a parent.
Did you get that? Stop it.
This is how she talks.
Listen.
Jason was notified by neighbors that there was possible drug activity involving his daughter at my home.
My relationship with Jason's mom, Pat, is no bueno. Right now, Pat's evicting us from the house. It's a little difficult now because I just lost my job. I believe that Jason's been in her ear about him taking over the house.
For the past 5 months, Tina has neglected to pay rent. That's completely my mother. I have no involvement in that whatsoever. My daughter always has a place to live with me. I don't want my daughter to feel that she's being kicked out.
They said that our daughter can stay with her father, Jason, in the house. Our daughter's initial response was, in what universe does he think this is going to happen?
Well, Tina says her ex-husband, Jason, spies on her, spies on their teen daughter with these cameras he's put up around the house. Jason's mom, Patricia, says that it was her idea to put the surveillance cameras in after the neighbors complained about criminal activity happening at the house involving her granddaughter. Take a look.
My granddaughter is out of control. She's defiant, she's disrespectful, and she's a possible drug dealer. Tina wants to be her daughter's friend, but that's not how you parent a teenager.
She's not a parent.
She parents 10 times better than you've ever done.
This would not happen.
That's not true.
You created an entitled child.
Let me ask you something.
An entitled child. And that's why we're here today. Did you get to that?
Stop it.
This is how she talks.
Listen.
Jason has a dossier of all the things that he feels Tina has done wrong as a parent. Jason was notified by neighbors that there was possible drug activity involving his daughter at my home. I told Jason to put surveillance cameras up around the house.
The cameras were put on the house because I was getting information from the neighbors that there was drug deals going on. And to be honest with you, I observed 2 of them.
Tina has actively tried to destroy my relationship with their daughter. The last time I went to the house, I had a confrontation with my granddaughter. She said to me, "So how many times have you been married now?" She wants nothing to do with me, and that really hurts. I also had a confrontation with Tina, and she tried to hit me. And Jason had to intervene. And that's basically what Jason and I are up against.
She has manipulated you to believe that I'm the monster.
No, you did it all yourself.
You made
Nobody has
yourself
to do
the
that.
monster.
You can't talk. You can't talk.
We're
Neither
talking.
one of you.
I'm talking.
I come in here.
I'm talking.
You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself. That's what you're doing.
not.
Tina has completely disrespected me as a mother-in-law and as a grandmother.
Well, I'm looking for an adult in this situation. You've been watching, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I have.
What have you seen?
I've seen two people who cannot communicate for whatever reason, but they're just not doing it. And it's taken a toll on my granddaughter, and she's acting out. I have my difficulties with her, with Tina, and I've been very good to them over the years, and nothing works.
But you agree this is a destructive pattern for this child.
Absolutely.
And that both of them are creating a chaotic situation that creates chaos for her.
Absolutely.
Tina and Jason's daughter is here and has been listening backstage. Now, I hear she cannot wait to get out here. Before she does, let's hear what she told my team.
My relationship with my mom is pretty good right now. As for my dad, I started realizing he was physically abusive towards me.
He's choked me, he's slapped me, he's punched me, he's pushed me down to the floor, even in front of the police. I don't want to see him, ever, because he's not a dad. He's not a father, and he doesn't deserve that title.
Earlier this year, I got into a physical fight with someone. When my dad found out about it, he came to the house and beat the living out of me.
You slammed the door and then you beat me up.
No.
And there's pictures.
That's not true.
And my face was swollen. I had busted lip. There was a bruise above my eye and underneath my eyebrows.
Ever since that incident, I stopped talking to my dad. Now my dad will come around the house and stalk me. He'll follow me down the street, recording me. Recently, I was out with my friends. My mom knew where I was, but she was mad at me. She called my dad, and my dad waited in their backyard. And once we got there, he tried to beat up my friend. My friend's 19. My dad's a grown man. Who does that? He's crazy. My dad does other things to mess with me and my mom. He turned off the gas to the house. My father and my grandmother even cut the wire to the Wi-Fi. I smoke weed once or twice a week because I go through so much stress.
I think that when the conversation gets heated, she gets upset.
That's denial right there. That's not what would cause her to get upset.
I'm upset because you never own what you do.
How many things would you like me to own?
Everything.
I love my mom because she's supportive of me. She doesn't give up on me even when I'm at my lowest point. When my mom says I act out, it hits a lot harder to me. My dad has told me life would be easier if I wasn't even born. When I hear him say things like that, I'll start crying because who says that to their kid?
We've been talking about her, and now we'll hear from Jason and Tina's daughter next. You're staying in the room with Nana, and she's staying down the hall with this guy, and they're posting videos
right next
about
door.
drugs.
And Mom's okay with all of it.
So-
Shut up.
I'd like to thank all of my guests today. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. A new episode of Fill in the Blanks is now available for download. I want you to subscribe and listen because on this podcast, I have the time and space to go as deep as needed into the most fascinating people and stories of our time. I get to go wherever the story takes me. This podcast is the behind-the-scenes Dr. Phil you don't get a chance to experience any other way. So go ahead and subscribe at Apple Podcast and Stitcher, and let's start a whole new relationship, one where you're going to find, I hope, it's as rewarding as I find it to be exciting. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and know that I do read your comments and questions. Like Dina asked on my Facebook, my 9-year-old daughter is becoming more and more sassy. Do you have any tips to try? Yeah, you know, actually, I don't think that's a bad thing. I always told my kids, you can say anything you want, you can argue as much as you want as long as you do it respectfully. Let her be sassy, let her be spunky. That's what you're looking for, actually. Just be sure there is a boundary and she knows where it is. That's all for today. We'll see you next time.
On an all-new Dr. Phil, 2 battling exes.
Entitled child.
No, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. My dad gets physical with me.
And their 16-year-old daughter.
You're sitting over here patting her hand like I won the popularity contest.
I wasn't patting.
Caught in the middle.
Do you have a boyfriend that stays over?
He recently got arrested.
He had no place to stay.
If you think he wasn't going in that room at night, one of us is an idiot. Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Thank you. Well, yesterday I sat down with Jason, his mother Patricia, and his ex-wife Tina. Now, Tina claimed that he was spying on her and their daughter by placing cameras all around their house. Now, Jason claims he had no choice since Tina is allowing their 16-year-old to just run completely wild. Their daughter claims that her dad is abusive and makes her feel like she's living in a fishbowl because of all these cameras. Take a look.
My ex-husband Jason is harassing me and our 16-year-old daughter big time.
You follow, you stalk, and people are done with your and so am I.
This is sad, Tina.
Because I live in his mom's house, Jason actually installed surveillance cameras. He's claiming that they're up because he needs to keep an eye on what our daughter's doing. It's insane.
So this is the problem.
In all fairness, 80-20.
You say you're having to plug in because she's not doing her job as a mother.
Correct. I found out Tina was allowing an 18-year-old boy to sleep in my daughter's room unsupervised.
As our daughter got older, she started seeking a lot of male attention. She also started smoking marijuana. My ex-husband blames me for everything that our daughter is doing.
So you defend your parenting?
For the most part. I
Okay,
mean, I know
got
I have
it.
errors.
You slapped your daughter.
Yes.
Why would you slap your daughter?
There was a struggle to get the phone. Mom couldn't get the phone. She invited me in to take the phone from her.
What he says is you push as much as you can to try to get compliance, and when you can't, then you call in the enforcer, and then you complain when he enforces.
This is the way he does it.
So you get into a physical confrontation over a phone.
When you
What are
say-
you,
yeah.
raised by wolves? What are you doing here?
What am I supposed to do?
Turn it off!
She has the power to turn it off. I don't have the account.
Well, God forbid you would communicate with each other. I see you both running your own agenda, and your daughter is paying the price for it.
So would you say that I should take the cameras down and just leave them alone or not try to get help?
Well, let's set up a paper tiger and then tear it down. You think I'm an idiot?
No, not at all.
There's a video that we made with you guys, and this happens in front of your daughter.
Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her? You haven't been around. She's been around for every single thing in my life. Where have you been? Why is it that you can't own the hurt you've given her? You haven't been around.
That's what I experience anytime I get involved with them. They both barrage me.
I'm speechless. This is child abuse.
I get it.
You apparently don't.
No, I do.
Because what you should say after that is, oh my God. You know, there's another adult in this scenario, Grandma Patricia. What have you seen?
I've seen two people who cannot communicate, and it's taken a toll on my granddaughter. She's acting out. I have my difficulties with her mother, with Tina, and nothing works.
I can't believe you think he's conducting himself in a constructive way in this situation.
Not based on what you see on those clips.
Well, let's meet the granddaughter. Here's what she had to say to our team.
My relationship with my mom is pretty good right now. As for my dad, I started realizing he was physically abusive towards me.
He's choked me, he's slapped me, he's punched me, he's pushed me down to the floor, even in front of the police. I don't want to see him ever. Because he's not a dad, he's not a father, and he doesn't deserve that title.
Okay, I'm glad you're here, actually.
I'm glad I'm here too.
I'm sorry that you need to be, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here. You've been listening to everything so
Yes,
far,
sir.
because I told him I wanted you to hear what was happening out here and know straight up, I got a real problem with what's happening in this home.
Me too.
What do you have to say about what you've heard so far?
I agree with everything you're saying. I couldn't agree more, and I've been trying to tell this to my mom too. I tell her these things, and especially about the she doesn't learn type of thing when it comes to my dad, bringing my dad into the picture, because every time it's abusive. He gets physical with me, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to see him. I'm not going to deal with it anymore.
So what do you want to do with your life? Do you have plans? I mean,
Yeah.
I know you're young. I'm not I'm not
Yeah.
asking what you want to do when you're 42 and a half. I'm just saying, what's your general direction?
I want to go to law school, become a lawyer, do what I can, support my mom, help my mom be on her feet more, because she deserves a lot more than she's been given.
And why law?
I mean, I'm pretty confrontational, and I think I can defend somebody pretty good if I really need to.
I'd say you ought to have arguing down to
Yeah.
ought to be able to argue a case, no
Yeah.
question about it. How are you doing in school?
I'm good. I get 80s and 90s.
One of the things that the cameras pointed out that I'm sure you object to having, showing you coming and going 2:45 in the morning, 12:30, 2.
I'm not going to deny that that's happened, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
it's on recording.
Yeah, you're 16. What are you doing out at that time of night?
I mean, a lot of the time, I'm with my friends. We're out, hanging out, doing whatever. It's not anything horrendous. I mean, the hours, yeah, they're a little weird. But besides that, it's not.
Is this okay with your mother?
My mom, I mean, it's more of like, all right, I'm going out. I'm already kind of out type of thing. I'm not going to deny it. They've said it. I will admit it. I walk out of the house and I'll tell her, yeah, like I'm going out.
So you don't respect the hierarchy in the home. You just do what you want to do.
Not always.
I didn't say always. You do what you want to do when you want to do it. If you want to go out, you go.
If she tells me not to, then I'm not gonna. But a lot of the time she'll say it's okay. She trusts me.
So, well, okay. I've got some questions about that. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Do you have a boyfriend that stays over some at your house?
He used to. He actually recently got arrested.
8 armed robberies. 8. During the time he was living there.
He wasn't living there.
What kind of a mother allows that?
And later, you're staying in the room with Nana, and she's staying down the hall with this guy, and they're posting videos
right next
about
door.
drugs.
Tomorrow, from cheerleader to ringleader,
She stole cash from her mother's purse to pay 2 would-be killers.
her parents
I got a phone call about the murder for hire, and it was my daughter that had paid for it.
break their silence.
You can't just give a kid a pill and expect her to be balanced.
You can't excuse this or explain it away. She tried to have you murdered.
A Dr. Phil exclusive. Then on Friday, she's afraid of her fiancé.
You hit my ass!
His mean texts.
You an ugly Why is this okay with you?
Because I love him.
New Dr. Phil, Friday.
Last year, Tina put my daughter in a teen treatment center without my knowledge, and I flipped out.
It's the hardest decision I ever had to make. Nobody wants to send their child away.
Tina put me on a no-contact list, and I forwarded them my divorce decree and advised them that I was a custodial parent. I went every week to see her. Tina only went up there once.
He took her out of the treatment center, even though he knew it was the best thing for her to stay there. Months later, Jason said that she needs to go back to treatment. I was like, wow, you're a piece of work.
At this point, you two don't have much of a relationship.
No.
No. She refuses to talk to me.
I'll talk to you. I'm talking to you right now.
I've offered therapy between us, and she
No, you
refuses
haven't.
that too.
Well, and I've looked at some of the text messages between the two of you. Well, tell me what I'm supposed to do then. my mom has no part in this. Jason, she raised you, so yes. Then you say, so did you. Jason, oh no, I definitely did not raise you. Daughter, okay, so you're admitting that you're an uninvolved father who's not there for his child. Great to know. So you say, I'm at work. If you want to talk, call me later.
Correct. I didn't want to have
You had enough time to text me.
Well, I didn't want to have a text war with her, or as you say, therapy session with her over text. I would rather have a one-on-one, face-to-face talk with her.
Okay.
And I'm willing.
Okay, so where's you
I'm
pulling
willing
up to the house?
Today to go to therapy with her at any time. I would like to create that relationship again.
You ruined it.
Well, here's another one. Jason, you say you could give two blanks about anything but yourself. You're just like your mother. User. Only call when you need something. People are only good in your life when they are doing something for you. You respond, if that's what you need to think to help make what you do okay, that's on you. To which you respond, when they say you hurt them, you turn and run, just like Tina. Daughter, you taught me to detach, not mom. Jason, I don't need anything, not from you. Don't call when you need something or it is coming time for something for you. You understand, you're trashing each other here. You guys, you argue in front of her and then you badmouth each other to your daughter.
Yep. And I'm kind of like right in the middle of it for my whole life because they're both guilty of it.
Do you have a boyfriend that stays over some at your house?
He used to. He actually recently got arrested.
Got arrested for what?
Gas station robberies. I was not aware of that, and I'm not okay with that.
8 armed robberies. 8. During the time he was living there in October and November.
He wasn't living there.
That's when the cameras went up.
There. He even gave your address.
He wasn't living there.
What kind of a mother
That's why the
allows
cameras
that?
went
What
up
kind of a
initially,
mother
because-
promotes their child
Stops paying
abusing
rent
their kid?
and
She
causes an eviction.
She didn't stop.
She
didn't
certainly
stop
did.
paying rent.
She hasn't paid a
Listen.
thing since August. Not
Maybe
a
if you
dime.
didn't cut her off. Maybe
I
if you
didn't
didn't
cut her off.
from paying.
No, I did not cut her off. She stopped
And why are you
paying
bringing
rent.
me into it though? Why are you bringing
I'm
me
not
into it
bringing
though?
you
I'm a
into
kid.
it.
Why are you bringing me into it?
I'm not bringing you. You're the one that brought
Have you
yourself
seen-
into it.
I
when
didn't bring to anything.
Yes,
I'm
you
a kid,
absolutely
bro.
did.
You
when
can't
I
be
had
saying
the
that to me, like,
confrontation,
what?
Help this.
when I had the confrontation with your mother, you were the one that came out to the corner.
Okay, go try to
screaming
fear
your
my
head
mom
off.
again. I don't want to
There
hear
you
it.
go.
Because because of you calling
because
me.
what?
You called me
Excuse
a
me.
slut.
Oh, did I?
Excuse me.
No, that's not what I called you.
Oh, really? Because I'm
Excuse
there.
me.
Wow. I'd like to lie.
Excuse me. I don't care who was paying what to who.
Yeah.
The guy you had staying with you at your house, whatever the timeline was, is now in prison.
Yeah.
Okay? And you were aware he was staying there?
He was saying, yeah, I had him in the living room. He had no place to stay.
And how old was he?
At that time, he's 18.
And you were?
15.
And
Don't
Did
do
that-
that, please. Please,
did-
you're childish.
did that seem like, is there anything about that
I
bothers
was
you?
uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable. And then it got to a certain point. I said, you need to leave. You have to find a place.
And you did.
There was something posted since you got here.
Are you
Okay.
serious?
You didn't know that happened, huh?
I'm not in the same room.
And Mom's okay with all of it.
So,
Shut up.
and later, you're sitting over here holding hands with your daughter like I won the popularity contest. She's involved with a guy doing drugs when she's coming to get help at Dr. Phil, and you're over here patting her hand. The hell are you thinking,
I wasn't
woman?
patting.
When the going gets tough.
What? Don't yell at me like that.
You don't have an anger problem. Well, that's a relief.
When life throws you a curve.
He lost their entire $1 million retirement fund, mostly on women. Women he met online, but never in person.
Sophie is mute. She was in an auto accident. April and I are engaged. This lady is Jane. Her and her daughter are now being held in captivity.
It's kind of like a soap opera, really.
One show
My son, Oren, thinks he's a cyborg from the year 2050.
has it all.
You say you don't want to tie yourself up with a job because if you have a job, you can't spread your message.
Correct. Our job is spreading the message.
I have a job and spread my message. I mean, it works for me.
Unpredictable stories.
Not only is she going to inherit her mother's overcrowded and messy mansion,
We're going up to the champagne room. If you can ride, why walk?
but it comes with a price. An older sister who lives in the basement.
It's not my responsibility to take care of Lori.
Lori has been bullied in school.
But she's 58.
Unbelievable outcomes.
Hundreds of couples targeted by an imposter in a fake adoption scandal.
Gabby told us that she was 15, she was pregnant with twin girls.
She had hurt so many families.
It's now time to finally meet Gabby. You led them to believe that you had a baby.
I'm done.
It's Dr. Phil February.
Now, there was something posted since you got here that I thought was interesting. Let's take a look at this. This is you, and who's this young man?
My friend.
Are you serious?
What do we have here?
You didn't know that happened, huh?
I'm not in the same room.
Oh, so they're in their own room? Is that what's happening?
Yes, because there's only 2 beds to a room.
So why
And
would
I
you
was
be in the same
sharing-
room with her?
I was sharing the same room with Nana.
Oh.
Me and him are solely friends. You can calm down now.
And
Okay, but
that
I know it doesn't seem okay. I know it doesn't seem okay.
it's not okay.
A lot of
I
it
know.
doesn't seem okay.
Okay, but now, I'm sorry. Explain
I
this to me
didn't
again.
know.
Can we run that again?
That's crazy.
And you're showing off this, that's your hand, right?
Yeah.
And you're showing off that dope, and
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Wow.
Look.
and you're staying in the room with Nana, and she's staying down the hall with this guy,
Yeah.
and they're posting videos
right next
about
door.
drugs.
Meanwhile, the whole entire time, I said to her, I'm like, hope you're not going to do anything stupid. You got to be careful what you're doing. Don't be posting anything. Don't be doing anything illegal. No. My fault trusting. My fault
You think?
believing. Yes, exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
really, seriously, what's your thinking here? What's the...
I mean, I don't even know what to think or what to say, honestly, because it's not like I can justify something like that. I mean, yeah, I posted it. I know I posted it. And
Well, let's talk about you doing it, and then we'll talk about you posting it.
Okay. Yeah.
What?
I mean, with the amount of stress I've really been under, I know it's not a good way to cope with it, but sometimes I need help with it.
And how old's your buddy there?
He's 19.
You're 16 and he's 19.
And Mom's okay with all of it.
Right.
So
Shut up.
Nice. Very respectful.
I know.
There you go.
You say things you don't know. You're
Very
going by your own opinion.
No, you haven't told
It's
her.
obvious.
Okay,
She shouldn't be
and you've done
talking
so
that
much
way.
better.
I can see
Oh,
your
I've said
response.
it.
She
I've
shouldn't
said
know,
it
but she
many
shouldn't be
times.
talking
Okay,
that
hold
way.
on.
So much better,
Hold on. You
Jason.
two can
So
bicker
much
later.
better.
I don't have time
All right.
for it. You can
Yeah.
bicker later.
I understand.
You do understand that that's criminal behavior,
Yes, sir.
and that you've documented that criminal behavior, and that LAPD can roll up on you right now, and that's prima facie evidence, future lawyer, of criminal behavior. Prima facie evidence for which there is no defense
I know.
for you and your buddy.
I know.
That's okay. So we talked about you doing it. Now, tell me why you published the prima facie evidence.
Why are you looking at me like that? It
Because
obviously.
you didn't think we had it. You
I don't-
think that your
okay.
friends are your friends.
Okay, can I talk
And
to you
I've
now?
tried to
Are
say
you
that.
done? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you.
Sorry.
So, I don't know. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, I can't justify it.
You know I work with LAPD, right?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I believe that there are key events that have compromised Jason and Tina's parenting. I'm going to talk about those when we come back. Can you shouldn't do that with your daughter. You should be offended by that. That's not okay, and you shouldn't accept that behavior.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
She stole cash from her mother's purse to pay would-be killers.
From cheerleader to ringleader.
You can't excuse this. She tried to have you murdered.
A Dr. Phil exclusive tomorrow.
Well, Tina and Jason's daughter says she stopped talking to her dad because he put his hands on her last time they had a disagreement. This whole thing is dysfunctional, and you are caught in the middle of this, but at some point, you've got to make a decision about realizing when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences, and you have to know if your parents listen to me at all, they're going to let those consequences start landing. You need to start making better choices.
Yes.
And your mother needs to start making better choices. Your father needs to start making better choices. You've all made serious mistakes here. And, you know, there's no theory under which you should ever put your hands on a woman in anger, in combat, in anything, whether she calls you in or whether she doesn't. That's not okay. You shouldn't do that with your daughter, with your ex-wife, with anybody. That's just not okay. You should be offended by that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't find your way to forgive him. He's your father. But that's not okay. And you shouldn't accept that behavior.
Absolutely.
But you also shouldn't be defiant. And you say go out whenever you want to and disrespect your mother and her authority, or your father and his authority. Now, I'm going to excuse you so I can talk to these adults. Do you have anything you want to ask me before I do?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll excuse you then, and we'll have an adult conversation here. Thank you very much, and thank you for sharing. What you're doing now is really beyond ridiculous. And, you know, I talked about key events, and I look at your view on parenting here. And you had a tough time growing up.
Yeah.
And, you know, you were violated when you were young.
Yeah.
At the age of 6. There were just a lot of things that went on. You've been married before, and it didn't work out. This hasn't worked out. You've been to counseling on and off, but never really made a commitment to it. And
That's not true. And it's still a work in progress. You know, anger management is a work in progress, and I agree. You know, I'm not saying that I'm.
How long has it been since you've been in
therapy?
Ongoing?
It's been about a year.
Yeah, that's my point.
Okay.
You haven't had a smooth run through your life either, and you know there's been chaos and abuse in your life, and you're kind of living what you've learned. And I'm sorry for that, but there's a point, you know, we say in Texas that you got to rise above your raisin. And you guys need to understand something. I've been doing this for 45 years, and if you don't change what you're doing right now, your daughter is going to wind up in jail, or she's going to wind up in a violent relationship with some violent felon, and she's going to have her life ruined because that's what she's learned. And if you two don't stop what you're doing, then you are sealing her fate. And I'm going to tell you what you need to do in a very specific way when we come back. You guys are so interested in besting the other. And, oh God, unless she's got you in a Dixie cup, then you ought to be the one that steps up and does what you need to do.
Tomorrow, from From cheerleader to ringleader.
She stole cash from her mother's purse to pay 2 would-be killers.
Her parents.
I got a phone call about the murder for hire, and it was my daughter that had paid for it.
Break their silence.
You can't just give a kid a pill and expect her to be balanced.
You can't excuse this or explain it away. She tried to have you murdered.
A Dr. Phil exclusive. Then on Friday, she's afraid of her fiancé.
You kiss my ass!
His mean texts.
You an ugly b****. Why is this okay with you?
Because I love him.
New Dr. Phil, Friday.
Well, while we're in commercial break, Jasmine at Under the J Rose commented on my last true crime podcast. When is the next episode going to be available? I'm on the edge of my seat with this case. Well, Jasmine, thank you. It actually drops tomorrow. If you like true crime, you should really check out this newest series. It's called Twisted Love, Bringing a Murderer to Justice. And I am going face to face with a known killer. I'm interviewing a man whose wife, Michelle, is missing, and her friends and family are gravely concerned. The delicate dance between Mark Castellano and I teeters on the brink. He is actually close to confessing Michelle's murder to me on camera. But at any moment, he could retreat into the darkness of all of his lying and deceiving and misdirection. If he does that, we're going to never know what really happens, and we're going to never find her. Find out if Mark slips up or if he shuts down. Episode 1 and 2 are available now on Apple Podcast and Stitcher, and episode 3 is out tomorrow. All right, let's get back to today's topic. Threatening, right?
I know.
Ready, fight, take.
Issues with vaping.
Jason, you wrote in, and let me start with you. Do you think you're a right fighter?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Right fighter.
That you want to be right, whatever the cost. You want to be right. You want to win the argument. You want to be right. You want to have the last word.
I think that's the way I used to behave. I don't think that I behave that way now. I think that I'm beyond disgusted with the way this has been going at the house.
Well, grade your paper. How do you think you're doing as a parent?
Right now, there's no relationship. So I'm not able to, I was never even able to parent prior. She would always pull the rug out from under me. Anything that I did, my daughter would call her up, and then she would negate whatever I did. So if my daughter misbehaved at my house, or she talked to me in a disrespectful way, or refused to give me the phone, and I would call her up and say, "Can you shut the phone off?"
Okay.
There was never any support. So I was not ever able to
So you're a
parent.
victim.
Well, I've never been able to parent.
So you're a victim.
I wouldn't say I'm a victim. I would say I'm not, the ability to parent has been removed.
You're a victim of her.
I'd say that, yeah. Yeah.
I wish I had that much power.
Well, when you come and rescue your daughter,
You
whenever she
come
calls
to my
you
house.
to tell you that
No,
she's unhappy.
stop. No, listen, I'm going to ask you to leave if you get in this conversation again, okay? Please just be here and support what I'm doing, okay? You've been very helpful so far.
I'm trying.
And I'd like for you to stay. But I'm going to put some things out here, and there's a difference between when he calls CPS and when I call CPS. Mm-hmm. And you people need to hear me. Because I cannot, I'm a mandated reporter. And I cannot allow this child to go back into this situation. So I'm just telling you, it's not a matter of choice with me. I'm a mandated reporter. Right. I see this kind of abuse going on. Mm-hmm. I either have to change it or report it.
Got it.
And you guys are so interested in besting the other. No. And, oh God. You're right.
I've kind of given up.
No, you're right.
Seriously,
you're right. You're right. I don't know what I'm doing. You're right. I'm just making it up as I go along. This situation, listen to me.
I hear you.
Listen to me. You haven't met anybody working harder for you and your family than you're looking at right now, my friend. This situation needs a hero, and it ought to be you. It should be you. The father in a family should be a leader, a protector, a provider. I mean, you should be all of these things. And you shouldn't be standing around saying, she's not allowing me to do it. Unless she's got your in a Dixie cup, then you ought to be the one that steps up and does what you need to do. You can do what you need to do, Jason. And I'm going to help you to do that, if you'll just listen to me.
I'm all ears.
What the hell are you thinking? Have a boy living with your 16-year-old daughter. And if you think he wasn't going in that room at night, one of us is an idiot.
Do you need Dr. Phil's help? Text Phil to 88500 and share your story for a chance to appear on the show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Season 18 is underway. All we need is you. If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area and want to watch a live taping, visit drphil.com and click tickets. Tickets are free, and I hope to see you soon. You're sitting over here holding hands with your daughter like I won the popularity contest. She's involved with a guy doing drugs when she's coming to get help at Dr. Phil, and you're over here patting her hand. The hell are you thinking,
I wasn't
woman?
patting. No, she grabbed my hand for hold. If she didn't want to hold my hand, I would have let go. I wasn't patting, because I don't think what she said was right.
If you don't learn to parent your daughter differently, she's going to wind up in prison. And you're going to be watching reruns of this show thinking, why in the hell did I didn't hear what was being said? Your daughter sat here and said, when I want to go out, I go. So, Mom, we got the tail wagging the dog. As loud as you may yell, as much as you think you may have control or volume or whatever, she's doing what she wants to do when she wants to do it, and your judgment is not good. You got an armed robber. Now, quickly, tell me he wasn't guilty of that when he stayed there. Quickly, point it out. Point it out.
I can't say that, because I don't know.
It's bad judgment to have a boy living with your 16-year-old daughter. And if you think he wasn't going in that room at night, one of us is an idiot.
Oh, yeah, that would be me. That would be me. Most definitely. Most definitely. That's one thing. I don't have a problem owning my stuff.
I want to introduce a friend of mine. This is Shane Gallagher. And Shane is the executive director of Wingate Wilderness Therapy. And Wingate Wilderness Therapy is, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, wilderness programs in the country. And it's one of the only one that helps young adults with or without substance abuse issues. And Wingate's staff are really pioneers in the wilderness therapy field. They've been doing this for decades. And they're really experienced in helping clients who are angry and defiant and become really getting them open to positive change, because they take them out of chaotic, trauma-filled situations where they're hanging with the wrong people, doing drugs, headed towards a train wreck, which is what's going on with your daughter. Shane, you can help her, right?
We really can help her. The chaos and the trauma, frankly, that's gone on in this whole context, she just needs a break from, and we can definitely give her that break. And if the two of you can be on the same page on that and trust us in our process, I think we can just really be helpful to your family as a whole.
And here's, listen, I could say this to her, and she, of course, will resist it, but I could say this to her, and I have absolutely no problem in doing that. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because this needs to be the first step in her seeing her parents as a unit sit down with her and say, this is going to happen, this needs to happen, and while you're doing that, we're going to be working at least as hard on getting our ducks in a row.
Remember when you said to me that you wouldn't send me away?
See what Dr. Phil has to
No.
say.
If you want to give me more abandonment issues,
Today's show is almost over, but we are hard at work on tomorrow's show and beyond. And we are always looking for great guests. If you have a problem you think only I can solve, I want to hear from you. Make sure to log on to Dr. Phil and click Be on the Show or text Phil to 88500. Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
She needs a reset here.
Yeah.
And if she does that and you two just say, well, that's a nice break, and do nothing in the interim, then you'll be cheating her. You've got to do some things. Look, you're a smart woman. And like I said, you guys have done some right things because she's a really very nice young woman. But I highly recommend that you two sit down and talk and go to her and say, we've been offered an amazing opportunity here. And we have collectively decided that you should do this. And while you're doing that, we're going to do the things we're going to do. And I'm going to provide help for you guys to get this thing put together while she's gone in a way that she can come home to something constructive. Do you support this?
Absolutely.
Do you support this?
Definitely.
And then I'm going to get help to you two, which you deserve and you need. Fair enough? Okay? All right? Okay. I want to thank all my guests today, and a special thanks to Shane Gallagher and Wingate Wilderness Therapy. They really do a great job. And also a special thanks to Mike Montreal from Safe Interventions, because they are the transporters that will make certain that she gets there safely and soundly and that there are no problems. For more information about today's show, you can log on to drphil.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I have a great respect for law enforcement, as everyone knows. Law enforcement and all first responders. They work so that we can enjoy our everyday lives. I decided to show my appreciation recently to the Anaheim Fire Department on Thanksgiving, and I reposted this on Instagram. I was in Anaheim, and they allowed me to land a helicopter on their place where they train their people and set fires to their towers and all that kind of stuff, and I got to visit with every one of them. Great bunch of guys down there. Thanks. We'll see you next time. You know, people always ask me what I love most about Robin. Well, there's not enough time to say. I mean, right? I definitely love her smile. And my mother always told me, if you want her to fall in love with you, make her laugh.
Oh, she was so sweet.
She really
Precious,
was, yeah.
yes.
We miss her. But every time she laughs, I fall in love all over again, right?
Oh, well, that's so sweet. Now, I'm kind of conflicted because I feel like I should laugh right now for you, but
Yeah.
what you just said kind of makes me want to cry.
No, well, you can do either one. But speaking of love, come on, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and you have something special that you created, so tell us about
Yes,
it.
I sure do. In fact, let me get it. Oh, I have this precious little travel bag I call my romantic getaway kit. It's a sweetheart of a skincare gift. So
Sounds
notice I
perfect
said
for Valentine's Day, right? I'm your sweetheart.
That's right.
So what's in the bag?
So in it, I have my Foaming Joy Facial Cleanser and Polished to Perfection Exfoliating Scrub, very important, and my Hydrated Skin Equals Youth Moisturizer. Then I have my Pore Tiny Me cream that makes your skin appear smoother. And I love all of those.
And all of Robin's products in her luxury skincare collection have a patented dynamic infusion technology that delivers the ingredients into skin quicker and deeper. She's got my tennis buddies hooked on them as well. I mean, seriously, they actually put these things on all the time. Tell us about the facial mask.
Well, I created this facial mask just for Valentine's Day. And it's brand new. It gives your skin a cool burst of hydration. And I named it, she is one cool chick. I really love her. And you'll notice instead of love, I put a red heart. And just for Valentine's Day. If you want to perk up your skin and your spirits any time of day, I included Hard Work Equals a Bonus, my Rose Hydrating Toning Mist. And my Ultra Rich Hold Me Tight Cream gives you the softest hands ever.
Well, how about a little bling for Valentine's Day, right? You got something in there that's shiny, right?
Oh, for sure. Because I love sparkle, I created a brand new Swarovski crystal bow necklace. Yes.
Yeah, look at that.
Yes.
All right, and there's only one place that you can get Robin's Romantic Getaway Kit, and that's at RobinMcGrawRevelation.com. And the first 900 people to order will receive this bow necklace as a bonus.
Yes.
That's the first 900 people, and let me tell you, that's quick. And audience, Robin is treating you today because you're going home with all the products in her Romantic Getaway Kit. Okay? So there you go. How about that? Okay, now if you want to join us here in the audience, the tickets are free. So just go to drphil.com for all the details. We'll see you next time. RobinMcGrawRevelation.com.
Remember when you said to me that you wouldn't send me away?
What I was saying is, see what Dr. Phil has to say.
No, you said you wouldn't. If you want to give me more abandonment issues, then send me here. But if you want me to be okay and happy, take me home.
If you guys want to say goodbye and she's able to do so, then let's do that.
Why would you do it?
Have a hug.
No.
What Laura and I do is help take care of you from this point to the program. We have temporary custody. Do you have any questions to start with?
Why? My abandonment issues are through the roof.
Yes,
and this is going to make it worse.
Because of all of this dysfunction in your family, you're in a place where you are. And now you're going to take responsibility and you're going to build a foundation under yourself. You're going to do real well.